1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to TFC Tuesday Night Pugs, hosted by TFC. I'm Sam, that's Cody, and we're not going to waste any time as we've got games to go ahead and get into. If you are new here, real quick, Pug Night is your chance to get your games casted while also playing with our awesome community in our Discord. If you want to get in on the action, just type in !Discord in the chat, and then you'll get a link and you can join up in the server. Make sure you scroll to the bottom and then pick the queue that you want to play. We have two. We've got Final Round and we've got Cash Out. As soon as your queue is full, you'll be notified. You're going to join a voice channel as your check-in. And then once you've decided on maps and teams and things like that, you'll be broken out into your individual team channels. And then you'll compete, and whoever wins votes and you win. And that's it. As a reminder, if you're playing Cash Out this evening, the only way to book a win on our leaderboard is to come in first place. That does mean that griefing and doubling is encouraged, in fact, because if you're not first, you're last here at TFC Pug Night. That is just a limitation of the bot, but it makes for a lot of fun gameplay. So Cody, welcome in, man. I know we just got finished deadlocking it with the community as well a bit. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just happy to be here for another Tuesday Night Pugs. I'm so excited to see all the wonderful games we got queued up. And speaking of games queued, oh my gosh, we got a hell of a lot going on. Not only do we have a final round, we have a cash out queue, and then we have more people in another cash out queue. So if you're watching and you're not in any of these queues, I would get in here because, I mean, it is genuinely popping off. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of games already underway, so we're going to wait for a queue to open up here. I think we might even jump straight into a cash out. We're going to make sure that we try to get as much coverage tonight as possible, so we'll be jumping from lobby to lobby to make sure that everybody who's participating at least gets a game on the big screen. If you happen to miss your game, I'm really sorry. It's not our intention. Make sure you come back next week and we'll make sure we get you. Something new also real quick that's going to be happening starting this week as well is actually we're going to be uploading our featured pug match of the week. The match that we go back and we watch, we're like, man, that thing was awesome, or there was a really sick play. We're going to go ahead and upload the entire gameplay to our YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed over there, head to youtube.com/@ the Final Central FTW and get subscribed over there, as your game might wind up featured for almost 4,000 subscribers that we've got over there. We know we've been lacking a little bit on the YouTube content, to be honest with you. Obviously, lots kind of not going on in the esports space right now, but as pugs continue to ramp up and the esports space picks back up, we're going to be continuing coverage over there as much as possible. So get subscribed over there. Also, make sure you're following us over on Twitter. They're right here underneath our name tags. A lot of times I upload my favorite clips of the week, and we can make sure that get some views over there as well. We've had quite a few of those pop off. Shout out Codebreakers real quick, as they actually posted a clip on their Instagram. I just saw it earlier. I had no idea it was up there. That got 73,000 views of Router snatching an inbound vault that was going into a cash out that actually put their team in a great position to win that match. Honestly, I'm probably going to wind up uploading that game as our first featured game. It was last week's game. I'll upload 2 this week for you because that match was genuinely insane. And speaking of Codebreakers as well, make sure you join their Discord, discord.gg/Codebreakers, to get in on their Pugs action that they are hosting on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. If you enjoy what we're doing here, well, you get to run it right back with a different community on Thursday nights. So head on over there, get joined up. It's a ton of fun. I played in it last week. I think we're good. Cody, I just saw your message. I've got you in there now, so we should be set. How's the lobby looking?
It is looking good. We need one more person to join in on the side of the Kingfish. So let me talk about the teams real quick. Sam, you're going to be very excited to hear that on the side of the Boundless, not only do we have Wei Fao, we have Wei Fao Stir and Wei Faustus. So it looks like the Dojo of Fao is showing up with numbers today on this Tuesday Night Pugs. The live wires, Tactical Turtle, Cortisol, and Cringy, PLR. Big fan of that guy. Glad to see him. The Big Splash, 60 Hertz, I Like Men, and Player TTV. And on the side of the Kingfish, Utopian, Giovanni, and one other individual I'm waiting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be a stacked lobby for sure. Glad to see Cringy in there, seeing Cortisol as well. Lots of people from the community and lots of people from that Codebreakers community as well. Last week, we did have people from the Guanyu clan as well, which is Ikazo's group. They put on a show, and maybe they'll make an appearance here tonight as well. Once again, free to enter. You don't need a team. If you got a squad that you want to run it with, just talk to the people in the lobby chat about running captains. A lot of times people do actually get to run a game or two with their pre-made squad. You just need to draft them in captain mode. So make sure you're voicing your opinions down in the lobby chat waiting room while you're waiting for your games to be set up. Cody, last week we saw a lot of things. Obviously in cash out, we've got all variations just about turn on except for Kyoto. Anything that you're hoping to see as we're already starting to get into this match, it looks like, on Monaco?
Yeah, great question, actually, Sam, because we're going to see exactly what I'm looking for. And I actually also see that they might have made a mistake on the side of the settings, but we'll see if they run with it. It is Monaco duck and cover, which we don't see too often, which we are going into right now. And on top of that, they have game shows on. I don't know if it's intentional, but already seeing the Wei Fao dude like trio. I mean, they are dripped out to the T. Look at them. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, they are making it happen over there. This is a squad that obviously we have a lot of fun watching. They kind of made their appearance for the first time, you know, during the TFC. Which one was it? Cash Out, Crash Out 2 or something like that, right?
Oh gosh, yeah, I think it was the second Cash Out Crash Out is when we first saw the Dojo of Foul Boys show up in the limelight, and it was certainly interesting. I think the game we remember them from is that Kyoto match against a pretty well-known EU like Ruby.
Yeah,
and they almost got it. Yeah,
they took them to map 3. It was an awesome time. So I'm glad to see, you know, I always enjoy watching them. I know that I think they played last week, but unfortunately they came in late. We didn't really get a chance to catch their game. So glad we're going to be starting things off here tonight on the beautiful Monaco. Cody, take it away, brother. Let's get into it.
Yeah, speaking of beautiful, if you guys can't tell, I upped the graphics a whole lot now. So hopefully it looks a lot prettier and the stream doesn't suffer because of it. But already we're getting pretty hot on Wei Faust, just moving just through these buildings with that sledgehammer with some just precision, honestly. And I'm kind of starstruck, Sam. This game really is pretty, man. It really is.
Yeah. Turns out it's very pretty once you turn up the graphics and everything. So this is going to be an awesome one here. We obviously know the triple melee on the side of the Boundless is going to wreak havoc here on Monaco, as it forces you into a lot of close quarters engagements here. We're going to start things out here with the Dojo to see how they can get motion going here. So they're going to go ahead and plug Cash Out A to get us kicked off here. Going to switch over now to the Big Splash. We're going to be taking on our first fight against the Boundless to see who can strike first and who can pick up first blood, Cody.
Yeah, I like Men's trying to get some damage with that RN220 while the rest of his team jumps in, and they do have 2 lights, which is going to be pretty scary with that double heavy duo that the Boundless has. So already I like Men is just trying to get that damage in. It looks like both domes are down. The H plus getting 60 hertz up to full. The Big Splash now incredibly healthy here, able to make some sort of push, but they need to try to get that height and take it away from the Boundless. And already it looks like we got a pick on Wei Fauster by the hands of 60 hertz with that LH1, which is really good here against those lights. Now we're starting to set up that gateway by I like Men to get that height. Exactly what we're talking about, the Boundless getting another pick onto Wei Faust's 60 hertz. Is popping off right now. It is now a 1v1 I like Men versus Wei Fao, and Wei Fao getting an insane 3-piece, not just 1, not just 2, but 3, really entirely taking it. Now we're starting to set up that gateway.
Yeah, we gotta take a look back at that one. I do realize audio is echoing. I'll make sure I fix that out here, but insane gameplay out of Wei Fao there to pick up 2, and then finally the third on to I like Men. Nice plays there out of him.
The Boundless are looking incredible right now, Sam. I mean, Wei Fao just tearing through the entirety of the lobby with that sword, and I'm curious to see if he's able to keep out the momentum, because now the live wires are coming in, and they might want a piece as well. I'm already seeing live wire, the Wei Fao just kind of move through, and so is Wei Fao. This sledge is tearing through the destruction that has started to, you know, show up, Sam.
Yeah, putting in a ton of damage here. Those sledgehammers with the destruction on Monaco. This is one of the maps that has the most up-to-date destruction engine in it. So buildings and such should be a lot more traversable as those sledges apply a lot of damage to it and really restructure the entire map there. Piercing, though, finding a pick onto I Like Men. Another one onto Player. Shout out him. I saw him in chat as we were winding things up. Glad to see that he's showing up in the lobby and showing out here. Meanwhile, Cortisol going to look to get active here on the Boundless, hoping that the live wires can maybe make something happen over here, but I think the cash out is already done here. And along with that being done, the live wires are also going to be done, going down with a wipe.
Boundless really just kind of played that well. You know, they were almost like they were in their environment, right? They had all the destruction nearby. They had those sledges, that melee that kind of helped them work through those fights. I mean, they had the cover, they had everything. And I'm just really impressed to see the way Wayfowl is moving.
Yeah, they're moving great. I mean, this team is known to move as a unit with those triple melees. So, you know, the double sledge with the sword, the sledge and winch combo, able to close the gap onto people, bring them in close, while that sword and dash is just able to keep the maneuver and poke around. He's able to get in and out with high burst DPS, which we saw work out there very well on that first cash out. But we're gonna jump aboard with Cringy here, who's rocking that M26 Matter, a gun that you don't see too often, but can definitely pack a punch with those slug shells. Gonna go ahead and grab this box and start to move it. Nice movement there. Nice heads up macro play, as they're not gonna wait around and fight this double heavy squad, Cody.
Yeah, it looks like they might, unfortunately, get into that fight that they weren't trying to look for. Tactical Turtle taking the jump pad to get up, and they have a great angle here. They need to make sure to get rid of that pad, and I think they did exactly. So now the Boundless are kind of stuck on the low ground here. Hopefully they're going to look for some sort of gateway. Wayfowl's going to try to set it up, but no, Big Splash is coming in as well. This is pretty interesting because there's now 9 total people here, and kills are starting to go out every direction. I like men getting a pick on a Cringy, and the live wires are just somehow gone and out of the fight. The Boundless getting a steal here as well, Sam.
Yeah, nice flip here out of the Boundless. Again, another indoor cash out. This is exactly where you want to be if you're this triple melee squad out of the dojo of Foul. Curious to see how they're going to hold this one down and how teams are going to reapproach this. We saw kind of a failed attempt out of the live wires early in this game. I'm curious to see now if the Big Splash can take a different approach to try to close the gap without falling to those sledgehammers out of Wayfaustus and Wayfaust Turret. We're going to jump on with 60 Hertz here as he's going to go ahead and use that window tech to try to take some space up top. Overall, Big Splash not looking to take a lot of fight here. In fact, I like men is seeing that Vault 4 is in motion, might actually pick this up and snag it, and it might be looking like a double here, Cody, which I don't know if this is the play you want to do against this triple melee squad.
Yeah, he kind of just set it up for him, and that's exactly what we're seeing happen. I mean, Wayfauster came in and slammed I Like Men to a different dimension, and they're going to get the box here as well, unless they're sending it the other direction. I'm not too sure what is exactly happening, Sam, but the Boundless are doing a great job at staying alive and staying in the fight. The live wire is starting to make some movement onto this box, but I don't know if it's going to be too little too late.
Yeah, its time is dwindling down and things are not in favor of these other teams. We do see the Big Splash kind of in a position here to where they can make something happen, but unfortunately, they're going to wind up in a fight against the live wires as Cringy's going to find that pick onto player TTV. Cortisol, though, looking to find more as it's not going to happen as Wayfauster and Wayfowl take out 2 on the side of the live wires. Cringy finding a trade out on the Big Splash there onto 60 Hertz as Wayfaustus finds one onto the Kingfish. Everybody in the lobby is here, and I just noticed, Cody, actually, those vaults winded up not getting doubled. I Like Men going to go ahead and intercept that vault that was being thrown in by the Kingfish and decides to punt that across the map instead, as they want to keep this game in potential contention here, as they know the Boundless, if they secured that double cash out, are probably going to run away with it.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I'm surprised it didn't get plugged at all. I mean, I know D was pretty far, but I'm just surprised it went this whole way. These boxes are going to be so staggered now. It's kind of crazy.
No, you're totally right, and I was actually going to ask you, I'm sure that this box gets plugged, right? And because of that, with how staggered it is, like we've seen plenty of times before, most teams are probably going to rotate over and go ahead and fight this. But Cody, what do you think needs to happen here? To me, it seems like Vault 5 also should probably get doubled here. I don't think we're going to see a Vault 6 with only 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, we've seen it before, and we're probably going to see it again here. There is a double coming in, but speaking of just absolute carnage, Tactical Turtle is doing a great job of getting that damage in onto the Boundless, but now the steal's starting, and the question is, can they interrupt it? Looks like Utopian is coming in from the side of the Kingfish and interrupting it as well. And again, Tactical Turtle having that perfect angle to continue getting those off shots. I mean, it is really, really great movement here. But I think we're going to see the double. I mean, let's jump over the Big Splash and see what their plan is.
Yeah, good idea. I mean, because we can look at our scoreboard here, and yes, the double is confirmed. We're now in double jeopardy, ladies and gentlemen, as the Big Splash have put that second vault into the cash out. Good timing, not gonna lie, as there's all, you know, about half of the cash out timer remaining. This is plenty of time for any team to kind of try to make a move here. And now the Livewires are in a winning position over the Boundless. Boundless, we're gonna actually have to see make a retake attempt for the first time, I think, in this match. 60 Hertz laying in with that M11 onto the Dojo Foul Boys, but not finding a pick just yet, but putting in tons of damage, but just nothing trading out just yet. Time now dwindling away on cash out A, as it's almost 3/4 done in favor again still of the Livewires. Big Splash and Kingfish got to start looking to figure out how to get involved in this fight while also staying out of the lethal range of the Boundless. Now a steal attempt coming in out of the side of the Boundless. It's going to get disrupted there. Winch out of way. Fauster on the Tactical Turtle. That's going to clean up 2 there on the side of the Livewires. 1 remaining. It's just going to be Cringy left. He's probably backing up for the stall here. Looks like he might be in the fight though against the Big Splash, as well as Cringy is down in critical health. Keep an eye out at the bottom left of these teams here to know what's going on there. If that team wipes, they're going to be in serious trouble here. Steal attempt now coming in out of way. Faustus there. Does it actually connect? It looks like no, it doesn't, as Utopian comes in clutch to disrupt that one. Steal attempt now out of Giovanni on the side of the Kingfish, looking to make this one happen, but the hammer away. Fauster gonna actually close that out there, Cody. And that's going to be that double cash out going to the Livewires. And with 7 seconds remaining, no time is left.
Fauster, I think I saw correctly the usernames, but was just slamming through the entire lobby. I mean, there was not a single head that didn't get slammed by that sledgehammer. And it's kind of insane that they still didn't make it out on top there. Somehow, the Livewires made it out on top in the end.
Yeah, great gameplay out of them. Livewires, I mean, Utopian, honestly, getting that win for the Livewires, even though he was on, I think, the Kingfish, if I'm not mistaken, with those Deagle kills that came in super clutch against one of either Way Faustus or Way Fauster, keeping that steal from coming in. Kind of secured the win over to the Livewires, who brought home $46,500. Cody, let's go ahead and break down the scoreboard real quick, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that top team, the Livewires, they had a pretty good kill differential. I mean, the assists kind of showed that everyone was kind of fighting together. Cringy, though, was kind of getting those off picks, right? He was doing a great job. You can see that. He didn't really participate in too much with the team, and he was just doing his job. It was a light. The damage was a little bit lower, but he did get those eliminations to make it count. And on the side of the Boundless, I mean, they were genuinely going through the entire lobby. They were getting anyone and everyone that came in front of them. It just wasn't enough in the end. And I don't know, which is weird, right? Because they have that double heavy, they have all that util. They should be able to make that steal happen. But somehow the Livewires, I think, were just too slippery. They'd get that box right at the best moment, and then everyone would come in and fight, and there'd be no opportunity to get that steal when they needed it most.
Yeah, I also want to shout out real quick 60 Hertz on the side of the Big Splash there. I know that they didn't have a lot in terms of money, but look at the damage there. We saw how much damage they were putting in with that M11, especially against the Boundless. Unfortunately, those did not really trade into kills, but I mean, we see it. Almost 5K damage. The only person with more damage than him was Cortisol with 5,300 on the side of the Livewires. So overall, Cody, an absolute bang out for our first match of the evening, and we are not going to be slowing things down. Again, if you are watching and want to get involved in the action, head over to our Discord. You can type in !Discord in the chat in order to get a link. All you do then is head down to the bottom. There are 2 queues available, one for final round, one for cash out. It looks like most people are queuing up the cash out. There's actually an entire waiting room. So if you have a squad, make sure you hop in there and tell people that you have a squad. They should be able to help you get a game together where you can have captains like the Way Foul Boys we just saw do. Otherwise, you'll be randomly placed onto a team and you get to meet a lot of cool people from our community. Major shout out again to everybody who has been participating these last few weeks. Pugs has been getting bigger and bigger week over week. Last week we had over 24 players, and I think right now we're probably even well above that. So this is the place to be, I guess, on Tuesday night if you're playing the finals, Cody.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. We have not 1 queue going, but 2 entire cash out queues going. And it's just kind of crazy to see. Almost brings a tear to my eyes, man.
I do love it. Yeah, it's honestly heartwarming to see all these people having a good time. I mean, it is the end of season lull for the finals. We are at the end of season 9. In fact, Thursday kicks off season 10, Cody. So next week, brand new patch that we will be running Pugs on. Any predictions or things you want to see in those patch notes?
And, I would love to see a couple reworks. I feel like I've been at the forefront of pushing some of these gadgets a little bit further in terms of mechanics. One that I would love to see is giving Heavy a little bit more movement. And you might say, Cody, that's the worst idea I've ever heard, but I think it works out when you hear it, right? So that anti-grav cube that, say, Akazo loves using so much, imagine you could throw it on any surface in any direction. I think it is one of the coolest ideas that I've ever had, and I am known as the idea guy. All right, I don't want to glaze myself.
yeah, you are.
This might be one of my best ideas, okay? Imagine, right? You're on Nozomi, and you want to get the cash box over an edge or something. You usually have to set up a pad, a winch. No, you could throw an anti-grav, and it'll just travel across. You could do the same thing, right? You want to cross a gap or something. You could literally just set up a floating ring across a gap or whatever you want to do. You could send things down using gravity to keep the cash box pushed down. Maybe it won't be able to winch it anymore. I think that's such a cool idea, and conceptually, not that hard of a change. Just saying, I would love some reworks, so that's what I'm hoping to see. Turning some of these gadgets that we've seen for a long time and making them something new, giving them a new, wrapping. It's like a new present to unwrap.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that would be really cool. I mean, obviously, any shakeup in the meta is obviously welcomed. I've been asking for tracking meta for a little bit. I love to watch the beams of the Ard and the FCAR and things like that. So I would love to see any changes come in that help push that meta even further here. And so we'll see. We'll see if that actually winds up being the case. Well, I guess we won't know until Thursday when the reveal event happens with Embark. And then I think the patch goes live like immediately after. I think it's something like almost 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the event. And then I would guess probably an hour later, the patch
I'm just
should be live.
saying, and I don't want to put you on spot on the live stream, but I actually would like to run an event a little bit sooner. Maybe we can talk about that.
Sure.
I want to do something. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. I'm all for running an event. We've obviously got a lot coming up here as Ape Squad's Classics League is starting, I think, in April. Heist Games as well, I think, is kicking off back in April as well, which Cody and I, if you're not aware, are actual casters for that league. So expect to see us on the casting desk once things get back up and running with Heist Games. There's a lot of other things in the background, I think, being worked on as well. And as soon as more news comes out about that, we'll be sure to relay it to you. So if you're not already, I know we plugged the Discord a lot. There's a lot going on there, especially the esports and competitive chat. That is honestly where a lot of these news are going at this time. Basically when tournaments are spinning up and things like that, we're sharing the info as it comes out right there for you. So head over there if you're into finals esports and get brought back up to speed, Cody. But I just saw that we're loading into Seoul Standard Issue, Cody. Let's go ahead and break down what we're getting into here.
Pretty interesting, this queue. There is some very, very good people on some of these teams, and I want to kind of talk about them. So we have one in front of us. It's the Boundless with Second Samurai, Tom Toast, and I Like Men. Someone that we saw a little bit earlier. I'm surprised they were able to get into another queue that quick. I don't know how the queue works, but that was impressive. I'm just going to give them that. On Team 2, though, we have Demon, Farside, and Riz Ellis, which I actually haven't seen Riz Ellis in a while. I remember, I think they've been in a Pugs before. Team 3 is Deegs, Hagstrom, and Ninja Fart. And Team 4 is Finn, Go Mango, and the man you were just talking about not too long ago, Router.
Yeah, Router probably had one of the craziest plays last week with that Vault Intercept. It was, I think, posted to our Twitter. It's at least in our Discord. Again, I think I'm going to go ahead and upload that match as our first highlight from Pugs. There will be another one this week, though, as well from this week's matches. So make sure in these games, play your heart out. You might wind up on our YouTube channel. And if you're not already subscribed over there, please head over there, youtube.com/@TheFinalsCentralFTW.
Let's go. And we are jumping right in with Hagstrom, which I think is a new addition to the TFC Tuesday Night Pugs, but I'm definitely excited to see it. Looks like they're running the Shack 50 RPG C4, the good old usual class. I'm always a big fan of the Shack, I will say, but already getting in deep with the live wires, and unfortunately Farside getting a great pick, and now Demon getting some good damage as well. Deegs trying to get out of this fight. Looks like the live wires are hot in pursuit. Riss able to get a kill with the CL40 onto Deegs. It is now just Ninja Fart holding it out for the big splash here, and they're just trying to stay alive any and every way possible. And I'm a little scared because it looks like they just peeked Demon, and I'm sure Demon is a demon and is going to go right after him. Ninja Fart starting to take a ton of damage here. I'm hearing that sniper from Farside. We've seen him use it before, Sam, and I think we might get a pretty cool clip at some point if we watch him.
Yeah, far side is definitely lethal with that SR-84 sniper. We've got a couple snipers playing in TFC Pug Nights typically, and he is one of the most notable names, I think, that shows up here. Shout out Crude Clan, by the way, with everybody in our community. They've been coming out the Pugs, I mean, pretty much since we've started doing this consistently. So glad to see that they're having a good time and continuing to come back week over week. But Cash Out A, Hospital Spawn, along with Farside on a sniper, Cody. I don't feel like that's going to probably get pushed much.
Yeah, you are probably right. That's kind of why I headed over here to watch the Kingfish and the Big Splash duke it out here. I'm sure the live wires are going to be pretty close in pursuit here. Let me take a look. No. Looks like the Big Splash are actually fighting the live wires. So I need you to make a heads-up play in. Who do you want to watch right now?
Well, we'll keep the fight over here because obviously this approach out of the Big Splash is one of the hardest pushes, I would say, in the finals period. I mean, making it across that bridge, especially the glass bridge, is, you know, destructible. It's very easy to wind up getting caught in a bad position and getting separated like Ninja Fart just has. He is on the medium, so making that gap that now exists in the bridge makes the job about 10 times harder, but a nice gateway there out of Deegs on the Big Splash is going to get the team finally safely across here as they're going to make their approach onto the live wire. Shots are ringing out, nothing really connecting just yet. This is an opportunity for Hagstrom as he's going to drop a smoke and look to go ahead and hit a steal. Nice goo there in front of the window as well to keep Demon out of the way. Farside also looking to close the gap here. We see Reese on the backside as well, looking to make an approach there, but he's going to get caught by Deegs and down he goes. 2v3 situation now as we see Farside getting caught by Hagstrom. All that's left is Demon on the side of the live wires, Cody, and we thought the cash out that was impossible to push is now very much in possession of the Big Splash. Let's take a look back at that.
One's going to be able to push it because the time is up, but jumping back into what's happening in the now, the Big Splash are now being held at bay by the Kingfish, and it looks like Deegs is trying to set up a gateway for the Big Splash to get across that gap that they once crossed, and now they're struggling. They're being held at the opposite ends. Talk about the turns have been tabled.
Yeah, so this is one of the problems of actually getting that hospital cash out is you're now kind of stuck over here. However, if we look to the right there, we actually see cash out D is still on hospital. The Big Splash, sorry, could actually stay back there and hold it down, but they're going to actually decide not to. His Router going to find two there. Finn for short going to find the third onto the Big Splash, and now this is a vault going in possession of the Kingfish, Cody, but I do see the Boundless kind of somewhat nearby. We also see the live wires also hovering nearby as well. This push out of the Kingfish is looking like it might be a trap there as Reese unfortunately going to trap themselves with the CL40 taking themselves out. Router finding another one onto Demon. Farside, the last one remaining on the side of the live wires, and now all of a sudden a situation that looked a little scary for the Kingfish are going to continue to show this lobby why they are king, as they're going to go ahead and make this approach back to hospital to look for the plug that is going to connect. And we're going to jump on board now with I Like Men on the Boundless, going to continue to hold cash out C and see if he can chip away with damage. I Like Men finding one shot there onto Mango, bringing him down to 2.5 bars, but not going to trade that out yet. But unfortunately the Big Splash are going to start making their approach here. This is a scary situation, Cody, if you are the Boundless, as Samurai has just gone down. Hagstrom now on the height here. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm not too sure. It really kind of is anyone's fight. We've seen the Boundless pull it through. I mean, these three, Second Samurai probably is going to coin in here. Surely, right? No, I don't think so. Hagstrom's starting to make some sort of approach here. We see the goo. We see the util down. And still no coin from Second Samurai. I'm not too sure what the plan is here. I see a gateway on the box, so maybe there's some sort of play here. It looks like it's got played down. And now Hagstrom starting to get some damage against that sword, able to get a pick on Tom Toast. Is now I Like Men, Second Samurai, and the Big Splash all duking out. And the steal's going to start to come in. It looks like they have that sniper angle. Maybe that's why they didn't coin just yet. That was the play. They don't need it. Maybe there's some sort of goo that can go out here to protect them. I feel like this is a relatively free steal if they can set it up. Now the C4 starting to come out from Hagstrom, making less cover, but maybe opening up for the winch, which is exactly what's happening here. Throws down the dome. The question is, are they going to be able to push? The Boundless are starting to move in. Even the Kingfish, I see a couple teams coming in. I'm not too sure what's happening, but they are able to get the steal, and there's not a ton of time left for any other team here. I think the Big Splash are going to take this one home, Sam.
Yeah, this is a very heads-up play, actually, out of the Kingfish as well, who has started making their approach. That was Router that we saw just a second ago. He is going to find one on his Second Samurai. As Hagstrom finds one on the Tom Toast. That leaves one remaining on the side of the Boundless. And the Kingfish pretty much safe to say that they're going to get that hospital cash out. So we saw Router go ahead and rotate over to see what kind of disruption they can cause here, getting some kill participation to add some more coin to their wallet. Cash out going in favor of the Big Splash, Cody, and things are looking close. It's going to be about 34,000 on the side of the Kingfish, 25,000 on the side of the Big Splash. It is quite literally anybody's game from these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, the kill differential isn't... It's pretty crazy on the side of the Kingfish. I mean, if they're able to keep this momentum, they're going to continue to build that lead. But like you said, the Big Splash aren't too far behind. If they're able to get this plug, which it looks like they're already on that vault, this might get them exactly where they need to be. Everyone just needs to be very careful about stopping the Kingfish from getting a plug as well. The live wires need to do their job here.
Yeah, speaking of which, the live wires and also the boundless, the only way for them to book a win in this match is a double, Cody. Again, if you are just tuning in or this is your first time playing in our Tuesday Night Pugs, the only way to book a win in Cash Out is to actually come in first. If you're not first, you're last. So we are probably going to see a double come in out of the live wires or the boundless. Meanwhile, we're probably going to see the Kingfish and the Big Splash try to hold them back there as we see the res in the top right coming in out of Tomtos onto Second Samurai to keep the boundless healthy. And Cody, we're seeing Mango. He's actually intercepted one of the vaults. Going to go ahead and split that. That is going to confirm a loss, unfortunately, to the boundless and the live wires.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't confirmed just yet, Sam. There is some time left. They did just plug it. It's going to be accelerated, but there is time. Finn trying to make it last resort to play his life. Almost got a pick there. And now Mango coming in behind, using that grapple XP54, something you don't see too often. I feel like unless I'm watching Neon Guts. Don't see the grapple too often, right, Sam?
Yeah, no, grapple not typically in the meta, but here at TFC Pug Nights, that's definitely not out of the question. We typically don't see a lot of meta. In fact, as far as side, showing us what can actually happen with that SR84. He did find a pick there. Steal attempt now coming in out of the live wires. This is big for them, but unfortunately they will also need to run across the map and find the steal on the Big Splash as well. Currently, all that has happened is the Big Splash now being further cemented into victory. Farside and crew on the live wires are going to have to find a way to get a wipe here and then also make a cross around, but does find a pick onto Mango there. It's currently a 2v2 situation as Fenn's going to trade out Reese there. Demon and Farside trying to hold this thing down against the Kingfish, who desperately need this box. It looks like maybe a res attempt now out of the Kingfish coming in, or they might even just play for the coin. No trophy nearby, Cody.
Yeah, Kingfish are kind of in a tough spot. They were stuck in that stairwell. Damage starting to come in. Router not able to get that pick. Demon getting it here, which is perfect for the live wires. I don't know if there's a world where the Kingfish are going to be able to make it out of this. Big Splash now at 50K. I think this has cemented their lead and their win in this game, Sam.
Yep, this is looking great now as the Big Splash have come in first place, but they can be usurped by the Kingfish if they manage to find a steal onto this cash out. Farside doing everything they can to continue to kite here as Mango needs to find the pick here, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to come in. 2 seconds remaining. Steal attempt has to come in out of Mango now. I think he actually got on it, Cody. I don't know if he's got the time though. He's going to abandon it and look for the pick on the far side, but Farside going to find that and secure the win actually for the Big Splash.
And what a game. I feel like it was just these two titans duking it out, and even when they weren't fighting each other, they were fighting each other, if that makes sense. I mean, both teams were just doing their best to try to upsert one another, even if they weren't directly fighting each other. It was kind of a crazy match, genuinely.
Yeah, very, very close overall, especially between those top two teams. Unfortunately, the last two sets of cash out, or the last set of cash outs, I guess I should say, were split quite literally as far across from the map as possible, to where once the Kingfish found the plug, it kind of made things impossible for the other two teams to catch up, as they were going to have to secure that one on Hospital and somehow find their way all the way across in order to find victory there. But, I mean, we'll take third place, right? If you're the live wires, they were down quite a bit, and they managed to get the flip on the Kingfish and get some money to their name. So let's talk about the scoreboard real quick as we wait for our next lobby to be ready. Router on the Kingfish popping off with 10 frags there. Gonna find only 4 deaths, 5.4k damage. I mean, laying it out in the lobby, to say the least. Also, Finn for short, most damage in the lobby, 6.3k, 9 eliminations, 3 deaths, 6 assists. They were involved in pretty much every fight, it feels like. And it was an absolute bang out for the Kingfish, to say the least. But it's going to actually be the money that wins you the game, not the kills here, as Ninja Fart and Squad have managed to secure this map win, with Ninja Fart going 1-4 with only 1,300 damage. But way to play objective. You know, that's, I mean, that books you a win. A win is a win, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you couldn't have summed it up better. Man, though, like Router with that 10 eliminations, almost 6k damage, it's kind of crazy. Farside not too far behind. Both of these two are just slaying through the entire lobby. I mean, Finn as well, got to give him his kudos. They actually get over that 6k mark. Just some incredible players, genuinely. And I'm excited to see what we got in our next match, because I do see some new faces in that queue. So I'm pretty excited to see.
Yeah, once again, I'm seeing some new faces also in the Twitch chat. Welcome in, Ray. Raz, what's going on? Welcome in. Hi, Kai. I hope your driving lesson was at least good. No worries on being a little late. There's plenty of games to get into. We're still going for about another hour and a half. If you are new here, make sure you drop us a follow here on the channel and all of our channels. Cody and I also stream not just the finals. We've actually been playing a lot of Deadlock, so if that's interest to you at all, make sure you drop us a follow. Along with that, we are live over on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to us over there at youtube.com/the@. The Finals Central FTW. We're going to be uploading the top match every week from our Pug Nights over there. We're going to actually start with one from last week, our first cash out on Bernal. That was genuinely insane, to say the least. Router had an incredible steal, and it was just actual cinema. So make sure you're subscribed to us over there, as we do multi-stream out there as well. Beyond that, if you want to get involved in the action, these games are open to anybody. No team required at all. In fact, encouraged to come in solo, as you'll be paired up with lots of awesome people in our community. Just type in !Discord in the chat if you want to join our community of over 550 finalists. And join the queues down below. You might have your game casted here during the stream for the next hour and a half, Cody. And we just talked about how this is the last Pug Night of Season 9, Cody. And we were talking about a little bit on our predictions for Season 10. Now, we know there's some stuff circulating the web. You know, nothing's been confirmed, but looks like we might be getting a little bit of medieval action, Cody. Any thoughts on the theme? I know that's one I feel like you've been of interest on ever since we came to the game.
Yeah, medieval was definitely up there for me. I hope it's a castle map or something like that. I'm not too sure. I would love to see a space theme, though. It's not fair. The branding looked like space.
I know. It's really like, yeah, kind of a fake out, right? We've seen all this kind of space intergalactic theming behind the key art, and then it's medieval themed, it looks like, more and more. We have, I think, seen confirmation of a sort of crossbow weapon and something else that pushed a lot of util off of a cash out, I think I saw. That was one of the teasers we saw, but we won't know anything until the official announcement on Thursday. If you didn't catch it, the time zones are out. I think Eastern Standard Time things are kicking off at about, I want to say 9:30 in the morning. So once that is done, the patch should be live, to my understanding, right after that. So we're gonna be jumping in on Thursday with Season 10, Cody, and I know we haven't played in a few weeks. I actually hopped on just last night. Yeah, last time was Monday, so yeah. I played a couple games last night. Had a decent time. I'm excited to actually get back into the game a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. I am definitely excited to check it out. Piercing. Oh, it looks like Piercing's playing as well. How's it going? Excited to see you in there. Yep, there is a lot to learn about this game. I think even some people that have been playing for a long time still find out stuff, so don't feel too bad.
Oh yeah, and the meta is always changing. There's always new gadgets, new tech to learn, and curious to see, you know, if stuff comes out in Season 10, what will shake it up even more. All right, well, we've got another cash out currently in play, I believe. Or no, we're waiting on this one to actually start up. So we will be jumping into another cash out game here in just a moment. Over in the queue, it looks like I think only 2 more people are needed to get a second cash out lobby going. So if you want to go ahead and hop in, head to the Discord, make sure you join that cash out queue. Join the waiting room. It looks like there's a ton of cool people hanging out in there, and get your lobby going. Once again, we do run these events, or I guess these pugs, in a split format, meaning for the next 2 months, basically until the end of April, your wins are going to count towards a leaderboard, and you'll be crowned our champion at the end of April for whoever has the most wins. If you're playing cash out, the only way to book a win here is to actually come in first. So griefing and doubling, pretty much encouraged, because if you're not first, you're last. Along with that, once again, if you enjoy pugs and you want more pugs action, head over to the Code Breakers Discord, who have been bringing a lot of awesome people over for our pugs. They're running theirs on Thursday nights starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at discord.gg/codebreakers. Make sure you get over there. Codebreakers are also the community that I believe hosts the Heist games, which is starting back up, I believe, in April as well. So Finals Esports about to get back underway here very, very soon. I saw the sneeze. You get over there?
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. So we got 2 more people that we're waiting on to get into the lobby, Cody. It does look like we're going to be playing Las Vegas Standard Issue. This is Las Vegas Stadium, not the refresh. I think this is the OG one. So any ideas on what you want to see here? Any predictions coming into this lobby?
Yeah, I think I'd like to see, more of like a Spanish sort of theme.
Am I looking at the wrong
architecture,
lobby?
maybe? I think I would enjoy, maybe like more open space, less, high buildings, a lot less height there, and a lot more just like viewable angles from every direction, which is something that, Las Vegas doesn't normally add, Sam.
I see that. I'm trying to figure out what queue we're actually looking at, because I realize we actually do have 2 cash out queues now running, it looks like. So I think we're jumping in. I see that. So we'll be jumping into, I guess, Bernal. I don't see an actual map selected just yet. But yeah, okay. Bernal will be sick either way. So it's going to be a good one. So.
Yep, you are absolutely right. I think it was originally on Las Vegas and then moved it over to Bernal. So that might be why you originally saw that. I was hoping we would load in quick enough, so why that was happening, then it would have been funny for Bernal to show up. But
right.
I guess we can think about it happening. We can imagine it.
Yeah, well, it does look like they are doing a captain's draft, so we're gonna wait for them to go in and select their teams. Once again, if you don't have a team but you want to get in on the action, you don't need one. Head on in, you'll get drafted onto a team or randomly selected. But if you do have a squad, join up as well. Bring your other 2 teammates. Just make sure you tell people in the waiting room that you have a squad and ask to do a captain draft. They'll go ahead and get you all together.
Yep. Still waiting. It looks like we're about to be totally filled up here. They're almost done picking. Now they're finally voting for the map. The question is it going to actually be Bernal? I'm seeing some votes coming in for Random and a lot for Fortune Stadium. I think, if I'm looking correctly, we might be going to Fortune Stadium.
I think we're going to Fortune Stadium for what I'm seeing. Currently 4 votes there. We got 3 on the side of Skyway Stadium's standard issue of all things, which is very interesting. And yeah, 2 votes for Random. So I also see 1 vote for Sandstorm for Las Vegas. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But about 15 seconds here, we'll have our map and we'll be getting into the action.
What would you like to see, Sam? You asked me, but I haven't asked you yet.
For this game?
I don't know. Your life next season.
Dude, I would love to see the back of my eyelids here in a couple hours. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You said if me yawning that much isn't healthy, I think.
Yeah, I got in. I pulled in your webcam, and bro just yawned for like 45 straight seconds. I said, bro, this can't be healthy. Yeah, you barely. Is that how you get the chin going? Forget mewing. Yeah. We're on yawn maxing now.
Well, if you couple them together, you do a little bit of yawn maxing, a little bit of mewing. You can really just build up
I see that. I see that. Yeah, I got one of them. I'm too round in the face, so that won't be the case. But in terms of this match, I am seeing Utopian with 2 of the Wave Foul boys together, which is going to be a fun one to watch. Also, Cortisol, Jog, and Tactical Turtle. That is going to be a squad that is very, very lethal. Honestly, all around the lobby. Okay, I take it back. We have the entire dojo now queued up together. So this is going to be even more
what we're gonna
ridiculous.
do, I'm not great at this, but we're going to flip a coin to see if Jog's going to be playing good today.
Okay. I got tails for he is playing good today. All right, that's my boy.
Definitely not heads.
That's my boy. I believe in him. All right, Jog.
All right, Jog. I flipped the coin, man. You better lock in.
I'm a betting man, Jog. I believe in you. I know that he can show up.
We're starting on him.
We
are starting on him. We're gonna figure out what goes on here.
Jog, turn off the stream, baby. Don't get nervous now.
He's gonna hate this. He's gonna be so mad.
Fortune Stadium, 2 p.m. sunny. Standard issue because we got no variants on this map still in Season 9, which is just kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Fortune Stadium, honestly, probably my favorite cash out map still, Cody. I love the rotations in it. I don't know why. I just think it's very fun to like whip around this map. I feel like you can traverse it pretty quickly. The power positions, while strong, don't feel impossible to overtake, unlike, like Hospital on Soul or something. So overall, I mean, yeah, pretty much my favorite map, I think, for cash out.
Yeah, I'm honestly just been excited to have the graphics a lot higher. It really just makes the game just so much prettier to look at and watch. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, my brain, like my neurons just start firing a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, it definitely looks a lot better. Yeah, that is pretty. It's so pretty, in fact, that I think even the bitrate is like not sure how to handle it. I think its neurons are also firing like crazy. What just happened? Out of Tactical Turtle there, almost fell off the map automatically, but we're gonna get right into it as a lock bolt is gonna come out of the dojo there. It's gonna connect onto Cortisol. Down he goes. A very fast first blood on the side of the Boundless. Now as the Kingfish are gonna continue to be on the back foot to look how they can turn the tides of this fight. Wade Fauster looking to reset his barricades there as Tactical Turtle finds one onto Wade Faustus. Wade Faustus, though, before going down, finds a pick onto Jog. That's one remaining on the side. The Kingfishers, Wade Fauster is gonna go ahead and get the res onto Wave Faustus. Meanwhile, Wave Foul, I'm trying to do this as best I can. It's so hard to keep up with the names, though, as Tactical Turtle is going to rein in with the ARN and look to go ahead and disengage here and poke from afar, Cody.
Yeah, really tough spot here. I was going to say, surely the Kingfish just kind of jump off and get a nice good reset here. Now, the Dojo of Foul boys are starting to plug this box over to A, and A is kind of an interesting spot, right? I think we've talked about it quite a few times, is that this cross can be really, really tough. When you're fighting the Dojo of Foul, it's actually pretty easy, right? They have melee. They can't really do too much to stop you from crossing this, so I don't think we have to worry too much for any teams. I'm kind of curious what's going on the side of B, so we're going to jump in with the live wires.
Yeah, jumping on board with the live wires here. Cringy PLR rocking the Lewis gun barricade RPG C4 combo with the mesh shield. Lots and lots of stall opportunity in Brawl available to them as Cortisol is going to look to make the approach here with that Charge and Slam and KS23. We see player on the health bar there in the bottom left of your screen, already down quite a bit in health there, but going to go ahead and get a full reset out as the Kingfish now on the back foot there. RPG is going to connect for Cortisol, but not really trade out into anything as he's starting to get healed up by Jog. Now he's going to look for a pick onto Kai, who manages to kite away there, but player dropping down below. Cortisol in hot pursuit here with the KS23. The Charge and Slam going to connect, but it's going to be the repeater of Jog who finds the pick onto player. 2v3 situation now as the live wires are up against the Kingfish, Cody.
Tactical Turtle trying to get with his team. The steal is starting to come in, and the live wires are now fully up here. Cashbox gets dropped, I think, by a C4. Tactical Turtle dueling against the other light here. Might be able to get the pick, trying to get that damage. Down goes Kai, and now a ton more damage is coming in. It's just player holding it out for the live wires. Jog starting to start the steal. Looks like the dome is coming down as well. Tactical Turtle pushing up to try to make sure that player doesn't get involved. Player starting to get some damage as well. Really just wants to get out of here or wipe as quickly as possible, and it looks like Kai coined in.
Yeah, interesting coin here out of the live wires. This time is dwindling down on this cash out player. Finally getting the health regen in. This is actually going to be a full reset for the live wires, but Kai's going to take some damage as he tries to close the gap here onto sector 3. Does find the pick there onto Tactical Turtle, though. 3v2 situation, Cody. The retake is definitely looking alive and possible when the odds were against the live wires here, as Kai is now retaken height here and is going to look to make an approach onto this cash out, hopefully for a flip opportunity. We see the steal now coming in out of player there, but the box is going to get dropped with the util out of Cortisol, who is starting to play that stall strat. Charging Slam is going to connect onto Kai there. The steal still trying to go through, and it does actually connect, Cody, as the live wires have managed to flip this cash out. Cringy, the last one remaining on the side of the live wires here, gonna go ahead and wipe that out.
Sam. Granted, the Boundless are only 500 away, but that's still insane that they were able to pull that off.
Yeah, that was genuinely crazy. I think, I guess it was player, was in that little bit of rubble underneath the door frame, and I think somehow he was just low enough to where the hitbox of Cortisol's Charging Slam did not actually connect, which resulted in that steal, and just the KS-23 just didn't have enough damage output to confirm that kill before the flip came in. But we're not going to waste any more time here, as we're going to jump on board still with the live wires, who are now battling things out against the Kingfish. Going to continue to brawl things out here to look to extend their lead. Keeping your eyes on the scoreboard real quick, as the Boundless have just wiped, but they are currently in first place, tied by only $500 here now. Damage coming in out of Kai is going to find a pick there. This is an all-out brawl as Cortisol and player, the last ones remaining on both the live wires and the Kingfish, both looking to stick the res.
Yeah, they were both able to get that res. Cringy starting to take a lot of damage. So is Tactical Turtle, but no, they got the lead. The live wires are able to completely wipe the Kingfish here. The Kingfish just cannot seem to beat the live.
Yeah, I mean, it was like locked in step. So many things happening all at the same time, including even the hand res here. And Cortisol trying to get a risky res onto Jog, but ultimately it's going to be players positioning that finds the pick onto him to put a wipe on the Kingfish and keep things again in favor of the live wires, who look to extend their lead. But the Big Splash now looking to get involved here as 2 go down on the side of the live wires. Player, last one remaining here as the Big Splash.
The winch?
The winch apparently connecting, but not enough as the jump pad manages to break, I guess, LOS and keep that out. So 3v2 situation now as a full reset is available for the Big Splash. They're going to continue to rain in damage. That's Deegs with the P90 here, but now the Kingfish are back involved. This is currently a third party coming in now out of the Kingfish. Jock finding that pick onto Deegs. Velo and Utopian, last 2 remaining on the Big Splash. Player, also the last one remaining on the side of the live wires. And the Boundless, Cody, sitting pretty on the other side of the map with nobody contesting about it.
Fish are now starting to go for a steal. It looks like the Dome is coming in, the Goo's in. Jog's going to be pretty hard to interrupt here, and it looks like the Kingfish were able to get the steal, and the Big Splash need to do something quick, and they just did. They got Tactical Turtle. It is now the live wires, the Kingfish, and the Big Splash all duking it out for this box, but the Kingfish are still on top. They're going to try to hold down and bunker this as quickly as possible. The live wire starting to come in. The Charging Slam from Cortisol. A lot of damage. He wants to get that pick, but he can't. The hole in the wall now open. Hopefully he sees him. I don't think he does. Now he does. Still not choosing to fight here. I think this is the choice you want to do. Tactical Turtle getting a great pick on the Cringy here. And it's just Kai holding it out for the live wires. The Big Splash, I think, have completely left the fight. No, I'm wrong. Deegs is now going down. Cortisol getting the pick with the KS-23. The question is, does Utopian notice Cortisol again? Throws down the Dome, tries to stay alive. The RPG is just not enough. Cortisol pushing through and taking down the Big Splash, but Velo is still holding it out. It's now just Cortisol holding it out for the Kings. I'm sorry, I'm just going over my words because so much is happening. Somehow no one has stolen this yet, and the Keepers are still alive, but they finally got Cortisol. Tactical Turtle just coming in. He has to interrupt this. He has to do something. He needs to hurry up. The arc reload. It wasn't enough. The live wires get another steal, Sam.
An insane series of events there, Cody. And yeah, Cortisol somehow staying alive for the longest time, but it just wasn't enough as they go down in the live wires, finding a flip here. This is just like we saw in the first set of cash outs as they managed to stay ahead. And now they're going to continue to extend that lead now at 32,000 as this cash out has wrapped up. They might even find some exit frags here as the Kingfish are going to look to re-engage here. A very dangerous res onto Cortisol, but the Kingfish do have 3 alive as Jog's going to take out 1 onto Kai. That's a wipe on the live wires. Going to look for any kind of consolation here as Velo Velo is going to find the trade out onto Jog. Cody, 3v2 situation. Big Splash still up and strong. The Kingfish looking to battle this out a little bit, but also potentially looking for the disengage as Tactical Turtle we saw in the, I guess, Alien Beam, getting out with the trophy of Jog, and the Heaven Press coming in.
Big Splash still kind of lingering around for this fight. I mean, they just have a little bit of beef. Both of the Kingfish and the Big Splash have been fighting each other and letting the Boundless and the Livewires make it out on top here. Even now, they're still fighting for, I guess, just the reputation. The saying that they're better than one another. The money doesn't matter anymore. It's about honor, and the Big Splash have taken that away from the Kingfish. And Sam, I don't know what...
Yeah, once again, if you're tuning in, this is TFC Pug Night happening every Tuesday night, and the only way to book a win here in Cash Out is to come in first place. If you're not first, you're last. So expect to see maybe a double here or not, as the boxes have been split. This is a great macro play out of the Livewires, who have gotten their start a little bit later than the Boundless here.
Sam,
and
I gotta interrupt you because it's a kill race. It is literally just 3 kills they're away from the Boundless.
Yeah, you are totally right. So keep an eye on that kill feed. I imagine things are going to ramp up here on this side of the arena. The Livewires actually may be benefiting for plugging this in so late. Kai gonna go and reset up top here and just wait for an opportunity to find more kills. Damage starting to ring in on the side of Kai over to the Kingfish there, but that's gonna be Jog finding a pick onto Cringy. Livewires down 2 already as the Kingfish start to make their flip happen here. This is bad if you're the Livewires, Cody, as now not only are you in a kill race, you've also got to perform basically a retake in order to keep things going for you.
Yeah, and especially when Cortisol gets that pick onto Kai, which is one of their star players, it's not looking too good. Cortisol making a heads-up play here to start dropping the box if need be, destroying some of that barriers here. Now, starting to get in again because the Livewires have just gotten Kai up, but there's only 10 seconds left, and that means there's only 3 left to start a steal, and it looks like no one's going to start it. I don't know what's happening. They're on. Okay, is this enough time?
I don't know. I think he got on there with like 6 seconds. I don't know if he's going to have this. The Goose Doll does actually connect, Cody, and that is a map win going to the Boundless.
Man, what a game there. I mean, the Boundless literally just kind of ran away with this entire match. The Big Splash and, man, they just kept fighting each other. I don't know why. It really was just an honor race. Like, they were just both putting it on the table and saying, look, whatever's going on in the rest of the match, none of that matters. Cash, whatever. We're here for honor, and you either pull up or we're going down. Like,
it did feel personal. I ain't gonna lie to you. It felt like they were fighting just for the thrill of it. They did not care if they were taking that map win home.
I mean,
yeah, insane. By the way, thank you very much, Lamp, for the raid of 105 people. Welcome in, everyone. You are tuning into TFC Tuesday Night Pugs. We run these every single week here in our Discord community. If you want to get involved, to get in on the action, type in !Discord in the Twitch chat in order to get a link, and you can go ahead and get in here. We're having a lot of fun here as we just cast a lot of our community's games. And if you missed the action tonight, we do upload the featured match. We're starting that this week, and this game very well might have been the one. Cody, before we get into our next one, though, let's go ahead and break down the scoreboard real quick here. Cortisol going massive 9-5 with 5k damage on that KS-23, but Tactical Turtle 5-9, 5 assists, though, 6.3k damage. Just barely under Velo there on the side of the Big Splash, who had 6.5 top damage in the lobby.
Yeah, I mean, they really did pop off, and I do want to talk about the Big Splash. Velo with 9 eliminations and almost 7k damage. I mean, when we were joking about them just dueling it out, they really were. They genuinely were.
Yeah, it was, I mean, like you said, it was very personal. It felt like that fight just ongoing forever and ever. Cash Out was well and done, and they said, nah, we're not leaving until one of these teams wipe. We got to know who winds up winning the fight. They may have lost the war, but they won the fight, and that's all that matters to them there. Man,
yep, you are absolutely right. We already have another one, I think, ready to go, so I'm excited. I think we're just waiting for them to pick a map. But Sam, how are you feeling? I do want to say you already said it, but yeah, shout out to Lamp. Thank you so much, man. This is huge. And again, you guys can join in at any time. This is TFC Tuesday Night Pugs, and I also want to shout out Code Breakers, who do his Pugs on Thursdays. And we also have Pugs on Sunday and technically Pugs on Monday for Ape Squad and Merch Mondays. So that's pretty crazy that we have that much going on every week. So please get involved in, even if it isn't ours, get involved in everyone else's. It's pretty fun. You get your games casted, get some good clips here. It's just a good time, or you can just hang out. But yeah.
Yeah, on top of that, if you are interested in casting or production, Pugs is actually a way for you to practice as well here with TFC. Cody and I, we try out new things every single week with our casting. We run new production setups to see what works, because when we host finally a higher tier event or something like that, we want to make sure things are working. So this is kind of our testing ground, which means whether you've never casted a game in your life or never ran a camera in game, but you think, maybe I'll give that a shot, join our Discord, submit us a support ticket. We'd love to get you on the schedule. We've had a couple people already participate in a few weeks, and the backlog is open. So if you want to get involved, see what you sound like on the casting desk, drop a support ticket and get in on the action. Big shout out, by the way, real quick, Jog. Thank you for the Prime over on TFC Sandwich, my channel. Big shout out for the 3-month streak, brother. Greatly appreciated, of course. Once again, you know, if you're supporting the channel or anything like that, all of this stuff goes into our community prize pools when we host events. We do want to host one for season 10. We've even got one that we're kind of cooking up in the background, maybe for the summer. So expect to hear some things maybe soon out of us.
I think we don't want to see too much about the summer one, but it might be kind of cool if we can pull it off. It might have something kind of crazy production wise, but we'll get there when we get there. Just keep your eyes peeled. Speaking of keep my eyes peeled, I'm waiting for this one more gamer to join the lobby, and then we can get into this next match. But I am looking, we do have another queue waiting, and then we have even more people waiting in the waiting room, Sam. So there's a lot of weightage going on, but there's also a lot of gameage.
There is a lot going on, and if there's not enough for cash out, remember there is a final round queue as well that you can join up. You can go ahead and join that queue, play some 3v3s while you wait for the next cash out game to be available. Completely free, no team required. There's no stakes. This is all for fun and just a way to play the game and hang out with the communities. So massive shout out to everybody who has participated in Pugs either this week or previous weeks. We love to see that this has been growing week over week, and we're going to be keeping things going every single Tuesday from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. We got about an hour left, Cody, so plenty of games still to be played.
I totally agree. We're still waiting for one more person to join. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking.
We've got two people, it says, in the unassigned players. I don't know if that's one of them.
I have no clue, but they're going to try to figure it out.
Oh yeah, you're not the party. Never mind. I forgot you're not the lobby leader. Okay.
They're going to try to figure it out. I'm just hanging out here.
Yeah. Well, it looks like at least we can talk about our map, which is going to be Las Vegas, and we can talk about some of the names. A lot of familiar faces that we've seen already tonight, including Tom Toast. We know he's going to be running that sword. Reese as well with Second Samurai on the side of the Boundless. We got Finn, Mango, and Router. Router continuing just to show up and show out in these matches, putting on an absolute, just clip highlight. Putting in a ton of damage with the SA-1216 that we saw earlier today. I believe that was on Soul. I might be thinking of the wrong map, though. On the Big Splash, Pineapple King, Demon, and Hagstrom. And then finally on the Kingfish, we got Ninja Fart Farside, who's probably going to be rocking that sniper rifle. And we got one more that we're waiting on. I'm not sure who's joining that one just yet.
Yep, and it looks like they are actually choosing their map, and they are all voting random, and we got Soul Standard Issue. So we're going to be going to Soul again, and I'm very excited to see it. Just waiting for them to get their teams in order. I kind of wish we were doing Soul under construction. Is that crazy?
You could ask. You could ask in the match chat real quick. I would be down to see under construction as well. We did see Soul Standard Issue earlier. It was a bang out to say the least. So yeah, but I would love to see under construction. I think it just brings another level of aggression and excitement into the arena, as of course that central office is no longer there. It's a quick rotate through mid. You're able to get around the map a lot faster. And I think it helps against like the situations that we saw earlier tonight, last time we watched Soul, where one of the cash outs was on a hospital, the other one was, I believe, somewhere near the big billboard on the other side of the map. And I want to say it was the live wires that needed to secure both of those cash outs in order to actually take home the map win I would say if it was under construction, they actually probably had a chance to make that one happen, but unfortunately, standard issue is just too far away to make that one work out.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think we're still waiting for one more person. Looks like someone accidentally got into the queue. But yeah, I think I've convinced them to put us on Soul under construction, so maybe we'll get to see it. Speaking of Soul under construction and kind of Soul in general, Sam, how do you feel like the change on Hospital? Do you feel like that's been enough? Do you feel like that was a good enough change? Do we feel like we still need more?
I feel like it's just... issue? I agree. We've talked about this a lot, and I think we talked about it with Young, who actually brought up the idea that they should just shorten the 2 lanes, which is that bridge and the open lane that gets you from that central office over to Hospital. I think if they shortened it, that would actually make things a lot better. The overhang that they added over there, I feel like helps a little. It keeps you from getting beamed while you're going into the door, but you still have to make that cross, which is just difficult to make happen. So yeah, I think that is the solution to make that feel better. I will say, obviously, people are finding out that you can obviously pad in gateway over, you can use the crane. There's like other means to get there rather than just running those lanes, which I think has made it a little more enjoyable to play. But that cash out spawn is one that's like, I mean, you're either full committing or you're expecting to wipe. You got to go in with a plan to make that one happen. So,
yeah, I would actually, now that you bring that up, I think it would be interesting to have like a longer lane and then a little bit of a shorter lane. I would be intrigued to see if they made that breakable one really short, so you can still break it and you have to like do something to get across. You could, like, if you try really hard, you can get like a good slide jump across.
Right.
But imagine it was just really short. They push that forward, and that's the short breakable entrance, and you kind of have the long permanent one. That might actually be kind of interesting, and I'd be curious to see how that works. Also, yo, how's it going, Grimsifer? And all the other people, Zombrex, love for real or love for. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you for coming around and watching. I think you're going to be in for a good match because we are loading into Soul under construction. We've been talking about it for a bit. Already looking at the Boundless. They're going to be running double lights. And if you guys want to play, we've beaten it to death. We're going to say it as many times as we can. We're going to shout it from the rooftops. Exclamation point Discord. You can join in, join the queue, and you can literally join right now and get your game casted. There are a ton of people playing matches right now. I think we have 2 simultaneous cash out games going. So get in here, have a good time. We'd love to have you. But let's talk about the game in front of us.
Yeah, we've got a game on our hands here, Cody. And like you said, the double light on the team of Router there. Reese going to stay on the turret CL40, which on under construction, I feel like actually could work. I feel like that's not a bad pickup here. It's going to cause absolute mayhem, especially if they decide to fight in the construction area more often than anywhere else. As you know, if you place some pads down, you're just in the air kind of nonstop. But we're going to watch the live wires here start to make their approach onto vault number 1. It looks like a lot is happening. I'm not even sure who is raining in the damage. That's going to be the Big Splash there, making a lot of noise in a Big Splash as they look to fight out for vault number 1 there. It's going to be Mango finding first blood onto Lazoy, I believe, or Lousy. Trade out, though, happening there, it looks like, as well. On to Mango. 1 remaining on the side of the live wires is going to be Pineapple King, who's left here as Ninja Fart and Kunder look to get the pick there, and they are going to find it. That's first wipe on the live wires. Money going in favor of the Big Splash, Cody.
Yeah, you know, I can't say we did find the culprit of all the destruction going on, which is Ninja Fart running the MGL, and the MGL combo into the Charge and Slam might have been one of the craziest things I've ever seen. He was spinning it around like it was what was that new animation they added not so long ago where you can like spin the gun around?
Isn't it like a sniper rifle or something? It's
yeah,
like I think it's a sniper.
It was super sick, but he did that with the MGL. I didn't even know that animation existed. But either way, the Big Splash are coming in with an explosive start, and now the live wires want another round. They want to run it back, Sam.
Yeah. The live wires want their get back here, and like you said, that MGL is going to be a lot, especially when you're on top of the crane. But the Charge and Slam out of Pineapple King, this is a nice heads up play. Gonna go ahead and bring the crane down. That's gonna take the height off of Ninja Fart there, who was on that MGL. Demon finding the first pick onto Mango, gonna put things in a 2v3 situation now as they look to close the gap on to Ninja there, who's down to 1.5 bars left. The M11 of Demon ringing out. That's gonna find another one there, and that is a wipe onto the Big Splash, Cody. But we actually have another team on our hands. In fact, 2 more teams on our hands as the Boundless and the Kingfish have started to get involved. The box is doubled as we start things off. Can't really say I'm surprised when it's still under construction. I feel like this is just kind of natural there. But Demon, nice damage again, finding a pick onto player. That's 1 left on the side of the Boundless and the Kingfish. It's just going to be Farsight and Router remaining. Router, though, that LH1 not running the SR-84. He's going to find the pick onto Demon. Now a 1v1, v2, v3. It's just numbers changing everywhere as Farsight finds another one onto Pineapple King, and that's going to be a wipe onto the live wires.
Yep, Router does see, looks to be potentially Farsight. I'm not sure which light that was. Yeah, it was Farsight. But getting the pick, though. Farsight with that LH1 doing a ton of burst damage. And what is with everyone running the most destructive weapons today? The CL40, the MGL? Is it anything not being ran that just causes my frames to drop? It's insane. Now, Reese trying to get some shots. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, Reese also, by the way, on that APS turret, which is going to be really helpful against the MGL of Ninja Fart, Cody. But go ahead. It looks like, unfortunately, it wasn't helpful there as he didn't get taken out.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't helpful. I want to say shout out to Slothy in the chats. W Pugs, W Slothy. Was Lazui? I don't know how to say this name. I'm going to say Lazui. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Getting into the thick of it with the big splash, able to get a great winch into that Shack 50 headshots here. It is now just Ninja Fart holding it out for the big splash, and it looks like he does see him, but he's going to try to get away. But now the Boundless are on the other side, and I'm not too sure if this is great for the big splash, Sam, because Ninja Fart is caught in the middle of these 2 teams, and the live wires are also down Pineapple King. So the Boundless have a position here. I do see Router looking around. He is in Viz. He's definitely searching around for something. The Kingfish in a great position here as well. Things have started to slow down a little bit. I think everyone's starting to take a breather, but I think things are going to get pretty crazy pretty quickly.
Yeah, a full reset, by the way, out of the big splash. I do not know how Ninja made it out of there. Unfortunately, the Kunder not going to make it out. It looks like he has fallen off the map. Mango getting cleaned up as well by Reese. That's just Ninja once again on the big splash, who managed to evade for quite a while to stay alive. But it looks like every team is starting to close in on that position. But we're going to jump aboard Farsight here. The LH1 is making a lot of appearances here in this lobby, but it's going to be Demon making the appearance there with that M11. That's going to clean up Farsight very quickly before even getting a shot off. 2 left on the side of the Kingfish. Big splash finally getting wiped by Pineapple King.
Yeah, Just a Platypus holding that red barrel, really wanted to make it blow up, and it looks like he did right in the live wire's face. And now the damage is starting to come in. It looks like the live wires were able to grab Vault 3, and Vault 4 sitting just cool across the way, and no one's noticing it. Players starting to take a ton of damage. Looks like the Boundless were getting some damage, and Just a Platypus wanted to get it back, able to get a pick on Router and Tom Toast. Down goes the Kingfish, or sorry, not the Kingfish, down goes the Boundless, and they're out of this fight completely for now. And I guess they're getting involved with the live wires too. These throwing knives from Just a Platypus continue to just rain in the damage. It is now just Pineapple King holding it out for the live wires. I'm not too sure where he's at. I guess we can check it. He's far, far away. I think he's going to hang out here. He does not want to get involved with Just a Platypus.
Yeah, let's take a look real quick at Platypus, by the way, using those throwing knives to their advantage, finding 2 there on the Tom Toast and Router, and finally finding this 3rd one. I believe it was onto Demon, who decided to chow that out. Nice heals as well coming in. It does not, unfortunately, keep player alive, but putting in work with those throwing knives. I played in Codebreakers Pugs last Thursday. Platypus, he mains throwing knives, and you can see that he's definitely got the practice on it.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. That H+ coming in, trying to get player up to full health, continuing, gets a great shot onto Lazuli, and down goes them. They are now just 2 left on the live wires. This is not looking good, but the Kingfish are kind of matching that energy because it's just the Platypus holding it out. It looks like he's able to get him that right click right into the center of the Demon's eyes. Down goes him. And Pineapple King, I think, was able to coin in potentially. I'm not too sure. But the Boundless, the live wires, everyone is just dropping bodies left and right. Just the Platypus trying to get some damage out and not able to stay alive. The live wires have wiped the Kingfish. They're going to hold it out here. The question is, do they have control of this box? They do. This is a good position for them. I think we should jump over to the big splash, Sam.
Yeah, Big Splash, currently their game to lose. We saw them secure the first 2 cash outs as they were doubled here under construction. And they're continuing to hold on to this one. They need to, the other teams in the lobbies basically need to pressure this, as once again, if you are new here, the only way to book a win during cash out here on Pug Night is to actually come in first. So expect to see probably some more doubling, maybe a little bit of griefing as well, as teams are going to realize if the Big Splash secure this box, they're going to be in a really, really good position. But but that looks like it's not going to be the case currently, as Reese is battling it out with Lousy, but Lousy going to take themselves out with that RPG, not taking Reese down with them. Mango, though, finding a pick onto far side. That's going to be over on the construction zone. Demon now up top here, continuing to hold on to their cash out. That's going to be money in the pockets of the Livewires, bringing them 23K, but they need to go ahead and start rotating over to the Big Splash if they want to have an opportunity to book a first place win here. But it looks like they're going to have to fight out the Boundless before making that happen, as Demon continues to be a Demon with that M11, finding the pick onto Router, finding a second one there onto Reese. Tom Toast, the last one remaining on the side of the Boundless, Cody.
Oh no, I think he's gonna get it. He's invis. Demon is looking out. He's trying to fish him out, and I don't think he's able to tell. It looks like they're both gonna try to get the reses up here. Let's take a look at Tom Toast. He's just able to get that res up. He's gonna go for the vanish. No, he's gonna try to get his teammate up as well. The question is, it looks like the Livewires are hungry. They do see the Boundless. They're trying to run away, but I think they're gonna be in hot pursuit. I hear the defib. They're able to get that third guy up. The Livewires are now down, but they're getting that res. Pineapple King hand resing here. The Boundless could set the Livewires here into a bad position. Damage already starting to come in onto Pineapple King, onto Demon, but Demon able to get a great pick onto Tom Toast. Down goes Riss, down goes Rodder, and the Livewires have now taken out the Boundless from the fight. But the thing is, Sam, is they were too busy. Everything else has been going on, and the Big Splash have 40K.
Yeah, 40,500. By the way, this is regular cash out rules, not ranked. So reminder, a wipe does not deduct 15% of your total money like it does in the ranked rule set. So this money does matter. Both of these boxes matter. In fact, almost every team is going to want this thing doubled at this point. I think even 18 plus 25, I don't think that's enough. I don't know if that's going to be enough to actually topple the Big Splash. So even the Livewires should be looking for a double here.
Yeah, the problem is, I mean, we're seeing over there, right? D is so far from the rest of the map. I mean, they're tucked into this hospital corner, and as we know, it is a tough gap to cross, and with only a minute left on the cash out timer, they're going to have to haul, and I mean haul, to get over there.
Totally right. I mean, yeah, they do have that center construction zone, which we talked about before getting into this match. It does provide a faster rotate, but yeah, Cody, you are right. 50 seconds remaining on the timer. Not much remaining there, as Reese is going to find one onto Lousy. Demon, though, taking Tom Toast first. The Livewires and the Boundless are still fighting things out. Meanwhile, the Kingfish are going to continue to hold possession of that box, and we're going to see the Big Splash here looking to disrupt vault number 6. They do not want any other team taking this. Steel tip now coming in out of the Livewires. It's going to be Demon. Demon does actually connect, and this is now enough, Cody, for them to actually take the win, as the steal money was enough to bring them in. But that's going to be Pineapple King, the last one remaining on the Livewires, as a big kills come in out of far side on the Kingfish to clean that up. Pineapple King, last one remaining on the Livewires. They've got to find another steal attempt here, and with 14 seconds remaining, really only 7 left, there's not much left to go in order to make this one happen. And Cody, that is going to be map win, it looks like, for the Big Splash.
Man, they were so close there. I mean, really, the Kingfish were just so close to getting that, and they unfortunately lost that steal. And I mean, Purple played it incredibly there. They stopped that double. They completely just set everyone out, and they held their win there. I mean, I don't know what to say, Sam.
I'm seeing the chat in the bottom left, by the way. People are not happy that Purple were protecting vault number 6 to prevent that thing from being doubled. Ultimately, though, I mean, a great heads-up play. And yeah, the Livewires, they managed to get that flip. It was actually just enough because of the steal money. You know, you get, like, I think 1,000 to your name if you steal a cash out. That was just enough to put them over the Big Splash, but ultimately it did get stolen back by the Kingfish, which
Sam, I'm going to take us out of this because we have another game lined up.
All right, well, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into our next lobby. And once again, Slothy.
They just started.
All right. Well, while we wait for another lobby, again, W Slothy, also W to Firo, Grim, Zombrex, Ray. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this evening to our Tuesday night TFC Pug Night. We run these every single week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they are your chance to have your games casted while playing some games with our Discord community. Unfortunately, I know some people don't use Discord, but it is only for the Discord community as of right now, as we have a bot that actually orchestrates all of our matches, but who knows? Maybe I'm working on a little tool that we can potentially use instead of Discord one day. We'll see. It might be a ways down the road, though, but we'll see. Sorry, I'm seeing Cody spooked. I don't think he knows even what I'm referring to.
I didn't even know about this.
It's super secret.
Okay, it's super secret.
Yeah, so we got about 30 minutes remaining, Cody. What are you wanting to see? What's on your Pug Night wish list before we get wrap up?
You know what? I haven't seen Yuto on the dagger yet, to be honest. I really haven't seen that, and I want to see it. So hopefully he does pull out the dagger. I want to see some good backstab gameplay. Question is, what haven't we seen yet? A bow?
I don't know if we have seen a bow. Sorry, I'm reading chat as well. We only have 9 people. Should we run a final round? If you would like to, we will happily jump into your lobby and get that a cast. We've done, I think, only cash out this evening, so we could slow down the tempo a little bit while we wait for one more cash out game, probably, if we want to get in there. I don't know if we've seen the bow, though, to what you were saying. I also don't think we've seen Utopian on the dagger as well, which is definitely different. We see him on it most games, let alone at least just at Pug Night. So yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen that just yet.
Yeah, you are right. And I think we do have this cash out match up and ready to go. So I am excited to get in there. Some of my favorite names, I do see it looks like Aquavex has joined the mix as well. So I'm excited to see that. And I'm curious to see if they're going to put up the final round. Anybody watching, by the way, we do need 3 more people to start a second cash out queue. So see all these guys watching. If you aren't in the Discord, feel free to join. If you want to get your game casted, if you want to play some pugs, now's the time to do it. Queue is open. There's plenty of spots. You could have a ton of games going. So exclamation point Discord if you want to hop in. If not, you are totally fine hanging out and just watching the games with us, because they have been absolutely crazy today.
Yeah, and a real quick shout out as well. We do have a YouTube channel. We haven't uploaded as much, but we are live over there as well. But we are going to start uploading our favorite match every week to the YouTube. It'll be kind of a pug featured video. So make sure you're subscribed over there. That's youtube.com/@thefinalscentralftw. We do post a lot of esports content over there as well with news and such. Obviously, there's been a little bit of a lull in the esports scene, but as things ramp back up, expect coverage to return on the channel. We also have a podcast. It's been a few weeks since we had an episode because of the lull, but if you want to hear about a lot of things happening in the finals scene, check out Around the Arena. Episodes are on YouTube. They're also on Spotify. We talk about a lot. I think our last episode was an interview with Artie where we talked about his entire background in esports. So enough plugging done, Cody. We're going to go ahead and get into this cash out. I believe we are going to be playing on Bernal.
Yeah, I think we are. It is Suspended Structures, Bernal, to be exact. And I think Utopian heard me call out from the heavens. He is running that dagger, so I'm excited to see it. Suspended Structures, Bernal, I don't know if I set him up for failure there, because not exactly the map to pull this off on, but I guess we will see. Already jumping in with him. He's doing some cool stuff with that thing. Running Cloak. He has smokes as well, the signature duo for that, and they're going up against the Kingfish, Sam.
Yeah, Boundless going to be facing off for the Kingfish for vault number 1 here. One thing I wanted to point out real quick as we get into this lobby is Way Faustus is not on Sledgehammer. I think he's on KS23, and Cortisol is actually on the Sledgehammer, which is something I feel like I've never seen there. And speaking of which, Cortisol going to get first blood here onto Velo with that Sledgehammer as the Lockbolt does connect actually out of the side of the Kingfish. Way Faustus going to trade that out onto Way Faustus. 2v2 situation. Now as Cringy's going to continue to rain in damage with that ARM, but Cortisol going to find the pick onto Way Faustus. Just Cringy remaining on the side of the Boundless. Cortisol looking to close the gap there. The Goo Barrel coming in, but Cringy still kiting backwards. The winch going to connect. Somehow Cringy is still alive. Just needs to kite for his life here. Cortisol dropping a barricade in the face of Cringy. Now people are starting to close the gap onto him. How is he still alive? As the KS23 from Way Faustus finally finds the pick onto Cringy.
Big splash, though. It looks like they're starting to move the box over, and they have plugged it. So the big splash, the Boundless, now in control of each of their boxes, quite far away, so we should see some split pushes here. The question is, who's going to come out on top of this, Sam? Who are you rooting for?
I mean, the Boundless is a fun team to watch. I'm liking watching Cortisol actually on this sledge. This is very different. I mean, Wade Faustus, I feel like I've only seen on sledge. Seeing him on a gun at all just feels a little heinous, to say the least. But we're actually going to jump over with the live wires here. We're fighting it out with the big splashes. Aguilar's going to find a pick onto Tactical Turtle. Jog went down earlier in this fight. Aguilar's continuing to just rain in damage with that M11. Finds the pick on the second Samurai. And Wade Foul went down as well to Aquavex. Flipped attempt now coming in for the live wires.
Man, what a great play. Doesn't look like they're nearby. The Goosestall coming in, though, completely interrupting the steal. They're now down Velo Freeze. It is just Cringy and Way Fauster holding out for the Kingfish here, and the Boundless are strong and healthy. Everyone is up. It looks like Way Fauster's going to try to get this res. Boundless are searching around, maybe setting up something. They have a gateway. I don't think he realizes that they're right above him. The winch coming in with that right click on the sledge, but the winch comes back and down goes Way Fauster. Fellow incredibly low, gets the winch as well, but it's not enough. Utopian completely taking the Kingfish down, and the Boundless live to see another day, Sam.
Yeah, this is great plays out of the Boundless, just continuing to reset onto the height. They found the information onto the Kingfish. Nice winch utility usage as well to even that fight out. And the Boundless going to come out on top, taking home our first cash out of the match here. Going to secure their spot still in first place as we get ready to go to our second rotation, Cody.
Yep, and just jumping over to the live wires, it looks like the Big Splash met an unfortunate end when Aquavex charged and slammed him into a wall, and the live wires are going to take home this box as well.
Yep, so we have our first two teams ready to roll going into our second rotations. Boundless ahead by only $1,000 at $14,500. Livewires, $13,500 to their name. It is anybody's game still. As a reminder, the last round of cash outs are worth $18,000. And once again, as I feel like I have to say every cash out game, because it's only tradition at this point, to book a win in TFC Pug Night for cash out, you must come in first place. That does mean griefing and doubling are probably going to be prevalent, because you got to make your comeback. If you're not first, you're last. So make sure you're playing it to win, fellas. Don't play for the second place. There's no qualifying here. You either are in or you're out. Meanwhile, we're seeing the Big Splash take some damage there. Going to go ahead and hit the reset button to try to heal everybody up. Samurai continue to take some damage there as the box does get plugged by the live wires. That's going to get underway here as Tactical Turtle continues to rain out some damage here to look to see if they can even the fight for a retake opportunity. He's going to go ahead and drop down now to get Way Foul back up healthy. On the other side of the arena, real quick, Utopian has fallen. We're seeing Cortisol take a bunch of damage as well. We can only imagine that they're fighting the Kingfish there for that second vault that has not been plugged yet. But bringing it back over here, Tactical Turtle almost finding that pick onto Aguilar, who's going to go ahead and get healed up here and out with their life. Cash out dwindling away as the Livewires have done a good job of zoning this fight and making it happen off of the objective. This is a great time waster and a great selection here, as if they Big Splash even wipe the Livewires, they still have to traverse the map to even get back to this cash out. Aguilar, though, reining in the damage now. It wasn't enough, but Jog's going to come in with the assist there to get the cleanup onto Tactical Turtle. Looking for another pick here onto Way Foul, who has just put the sword into Jog, though, but it's going to get traded out by Aguilar. Now it's second Samurai, last one remaining on the Big Splash up against Aquavex. It's a heavy versus heavy. KS23 out of second Samurai. BFR out of Aquavex here, who's going to look to go ahead and get a res off Cody.
Yeah, and the Boundless are coming in to try to steal this while both of the teams are down and trying to reset. This is the perfect time to do exactly what the Boundless are doing. The steal now coming in from Way Faustus. The live wire struggling, trying to stop them, but there's no time. And the Way Faustus now gets the steal, and the live wires are coming in late. They're still down one. This is the perfect time for the Boundless. Lockbolt coming in, trying to slow him down. Down goes Jog by the RPG, sending him back down, and now leaving Aquavex out to dry. But the Big Splash are coming in as well, able to get a great pick. Way Faustus Jog with that KS23. Cortisol getting a pick on Aquavex. Aquavex getting a pick on a Utopian. Down, back and forth, the Boundless, the live wires, the Big Splash, but the Big Splash are healthy, and they're going to want this steal. Way Faustus is trying to break and drop that cash box in the right time. He gets picked, but he still drops it. But the steal is also coming in from second Samurai, and they're able to interrupt it. Utopian getting a backstab on a Way Foul, and then a hit on the second Samurai. This is insane, and somehow the Boundless are able to make it out with that cash box, Sam.
Yeah, that was insane gameplay there. Utopian going massive with the backstab and then also finishing up the second player with that melee. Cortisol going to look to hopefully clean this thing up, but unfortunately, I think he's going to be cleaning himself up as his coins fall to the floor. That's going to be the P90 Tactical Turtle on the big splash. Utopian kills you. Last one remaining on the side of the Boundless. Does find the pick on the wave foul. It turns out the short blade is better than the long, though, and Tactical Turtle finally finding that wipe onto the Boundless. Let's take a look back real quick at how this fight unfolded and how Utopian in the kill feed there finds 2 kills as he finds one onto Wave Foul and a second one onto Second Samurai and ultimately made this money theirs.
The live wires have just plugged the box, and the big splash are not too far behind them, starting to start this fight. Jog taking some damage. Caught in pursuit, trying to get that pick. Down goes Aquavex. Second Samurai getting a great pick. Jog trying to get the transfer back, trying to get a trade, able to get a pick onto Tactical Turtle, but no, now starting to get damage from Second Samurai. Jog able to get the defib. This is huge. And Big Splash are down 1 going in this fight, and they're not healthy. But now the Kingfish are coming in as well. And the RPG taking down Second Samurai, and the Sledge doing damage to Jog. Everybody and anybody is here, and they want a piece of this box, Sam.
Yeah, this is an 18K box. This is obviously a lot of value, in fact, as this does put the Boundless in ahead, the live wires ahead, and also the Kingfish, as I would put them up to 35. This is quite literally anybody's game. The Big Splash are going to have a little bit catching up to do, though, as this only puts them at 26, which is not enough to topple the Boundless if they secure this cash out. So they're going to need to find some kills along the way in order to make this victory theirs. But Cringy starting to rain in damage with his XP 54. Already found a pick down below. Going to continue to add onto that as they look to put in damage onto Second Samurai, who gets healed up here. Steel Temp started to come in. It looked like a bait play out of the Big Splash. Meanwhile, we see Wave Fauster raining in with that sledgehammer to disrupt the steel itself. Unfortunately, the Velo is going to go down to the sword of Wave Foul. It's now a 3v2 situation as the Big Splash look to continue to push onto this cash out and make a flip attempt happen. The Kingfish are still here fighting. And Cody, one thing to mention is, where's the live wires? Where are the Boundless? They're not even involved in this fight as this cash out continues to dwindle down in favor of the live wires.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Somehow, some way, the Boundless are just going to make out for free. I don't know what's going on. Wave Fauster trying to keep this box alive because the Big Splash are incredibly healthy and they want the Kingfish down. He's able to get the box dropped. He needs to try to stay alive. Somehow he's able to make it through the gateway, but the steel is coming in. He needs to get that right click, and it's not enough. Wave Foul taking down Wave Fauster and the Kingfish with it. They're able to get the steel, but like you said, it doesn't matter, Sam, because over on the other side of the map, the Boundless are somehow keeping this cash box, but now they are starting to get involved with the live wires. They want them dead. It's just Utopian holding it out. He needs to try to stop the steal. He's invisible. He has to set up the backstab. He might be able to get it. He is. Down goes Aquavex. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Utopian is trying to stay alive because Aguilar is obviously pissed. How dare you backstab my heavy mid steal? And he's trying to stay alive. He throws down the smoke, but Aguilar's able to get the pick. But no, Cortisol gets the pick on Aguilar. What is happening?
The live wires unfortunately do go down there. Everything was starting to align. The stars were there, but unfortunately the Blade of Utopian is going to be the thing that disrupts it all as he finds that pick onto Aquavex. And unfortunately now the live wires are not going to probably have time to even get back into this fight. We're going to see a Steel Temp now happening on Kingfish's Cortisol. Gets involved there, but he's actually going to go down to the KS-23 Second Samurai. Tactical Turtle also finding a pick onto Velo. Wave Foul finding a pick onto Cringy Cody. This is enough kills. If they get this flip, they can actually bring it home. And no, it's not going to happen as the Kingfish wind up taking the map. What an insane just ending to that.
Oh my gosh, the winch coming in, trying to hit the sledge, but he accidentally hit the teammate that was body blocking, and the sledge did the same thing too. And somehow at the last second, even though that another team came in and did damage, they were still able to get that steal. That's insane. How did that happen? This whole match was just back and forth between all these teams, and I don't even know what to say, Sam. I feel like I need to catch a breath, so give me 1 sec. Okay, looking at the leaderboard, we see that the Kingfish were barely involved in any fights, and that shows that they were just playing the match. They were playing the teams. They were using them for their own bidding, and they were able to make it out on top. I mean, the Boundless had everything in their favor here, Sam, to win. The damage, the numbers, the kills, everything was there, and somehow the Kingfish came out on top by, what, 2,500?
Yeah, I mean, Big Splash as well. Like, remember, we were going into that first cash out in the last series there, and I was like, the Big Splash, this is not enough money for them. But they played their heart out. I mean, they secured that cash out, made it across, got enough kills to where, I mean, they were so close to actually bringing this one home. And if they managed to get the flip, they actually would have taken the map. I mean, I was like not counting them out, but the odds were so against them, and the stars started to align. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough, as the Kingfish going absolutely huge there to bring it home.
Yep, and we're already going to get into another match, so I'm going to head out. I'm going to get into that lobby while we're talking about everything else. And Sam, that was an insane game. I know we were just talking about it, but genuinely, what an insane game. And I think we're already jumping in. We have our teams ready. They're just going to set up, and we are going. Do you want to take a guess?
Soul under construction, I would guess.
No.
Okay, then. Fangway Stadium.
No.
Okay. Well, all right then. I will say 2 weeks back to back, Bernal suspended structures has gone absolutely insane. Like a map that we're normally like, you know, a lot of times you don't watch suspended structures. You watch just standard issue, you know, in like pro leagues and things like that. Suspended structures has been hyped 2 weeks in a row. I mean, genuinely insane cinema. I mean, endings. It's crazy. So
something
I don't know.
love about Pugs too is it does really force, you know, teams to like just brawl it out, which I think is great for content. And I'm sure some people probably hate it because, you know, it's just constant, just everyone in the lobby duking it out. But I'll tell you what, I love watching it. It's great. I think they might have fun though. I mean, you know, kind of breaking the norm of like, oh, we got to be careful and like, you know, be very careful about third parties. And it's like TFC Pugs is like, yeah, fourth party. Yeah, everyone's here. We're duking it out. I certainly have fun. From what I've heard, everyone else that plays has a good time switching up like that. So
wait, they're missing one.
Nice
Wait, they're missing one. Wait, they're missing one. Don't let them start. Don't let them start.
I think they know.
Well, everybody's readying.
They're just saying they're ready. No, they didn't notice. Hey guys.
Okay. Hey guys. Well, chat, for those of you that don't know what's going on, we are not running the lobby. We're just joining it. And everybody started readying up, and I saw one player was missing on the side of the Big Splash. So I think we'll probably reset here, I would imagine. I would guess. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll give it a second to find out. But looks like we're going to Fortune Stadium at least, Cody. And as we've said already this evening, this is my favorite cash out map. I think it's just a lot of fun to play personally. Hold
on, I have to interrupt. Everyone is in, and I was taking a little peek, and we have a triple light team.
Oh, okay. So we're all in. Oh, what a weird... That was a weird bug. Okay. Embark, another one to add to the bug list. There you go. It definitely did show that a player was missing. I am not tripping.
No, I agree.
But good. No reset needed. We're going to go ahead and jump right into this action here on Fortune Stadium. I didn't even get to see all the teams, but I know Router's in here, which I'm excited to see. I think Jog is in here as well. He is. He's with Pineapple King and Kunder on the side of the live wires. I feel like Jog is always on the live wires. Am I crazy?
He's just a Livewire fan. What can I say?
He is a Livewire stan. I mean, he's always on this team, I feel like. So,
yeah, I do want to jump in with this all light team. So no, go ahead. It's all you. I just wanted to let you know we're jumping.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. So we're going to be seeing the Big Splash face off against the Boundless to start things off here. And unfortunately, we see Ninja and Tom going down very early in this fight as Demon's taking a ton of damage here. 60 Hertz looking for the res onto Tom Toast. Demon somehow dead. Never mind. I thought they were live, and then I realized they took 60 Hertz's gateway and died. So unfortunate there. C4 out of Router does connect onto Tom Toes. Is going to bring them down. That is a wipe for the Boundless. Let's just look at that real quick. Little C4, a little bit of patience. Come on, fella. It steps right on it. Down goes Tom Toes to Router. That's going to be first wipe happening for the Boundless.
Man, what? I saw him place it forever ago. I'm like, surely he won't get a kill. And then, you know, lights are like magnets to that thing. So it happens to the best of us.
Yep, and this is going to be a little bit different than what we saw earlier, Cody. You know, we talked about this Isolt building when we watched the Dojo of Foul Boys play on this map, and we said that this is actually disadvantageous, I think that's the word, to where, you know, normally you break open the wall, and then you have a peak with, you know, ranged weapons to where you can hold that down, that angle on the cross pads, but they were running all melee, but that won't be the case here. As we know, most players here, I think almost everybody is running guns. I'm not sure Tom Toast is on the sword. I know that's normally what he runs. No, he's not. We were just watching him, and he's on the V9S here. But enough yapping. Gonna get into the fight now as the live wires are facing off here against the Big Splash. Halfway through on this cash out timer already. Goo Gun out of Pineapple King gonna go ahead and lay down some cover here as a Rez tries to come in here. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen as Demon finds a pick onto, I believe it was Kunder and Jog. Pineapple King, the last one was remaining, and Demon's gonna find the pick onto that as well. Demon going on Demon time, I guess, to say the least, as the Big Splash are gonna go ahead and flip cash out B.
It was certainly an interesting play. I actually think the goo there from Pineapple King kind of locked them into that room and allowed the Big Splash to just maneuver around. They're all lights. Goo ain't gonna stop them. They're gonna be all over. And you know, that's exactly what happened. So I don't think the Big Splash are gonna get interrupted here. I do see Pineapple King just spawned in, so we're gonna jump over to their POV and see if they want to get sturdy again. But I don't think there's enough time, Sam.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. It looks like they may even try to rotate over to A. In fact, actually, I think they're just going to rotate mid-map and go ahead and try to get some map control here as the next vault is going to spawn. We know that this box over on the side of the Boundless is getting ready to wrap up as well. So this is actually probably the right play out of the live wires to go ahead and reset, get position, and take advantage of the map while they can.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. And I do want to say why we have a little bit of downtime. Someone asked, how do we get into the customs? You join the Discord and you join the queue. It is that simple. And before you know it, you're playing a game and you're getting your game casted and you're having a good time. So it is that simple. Exclamation point Discord. Hop in, join the queue. It is that simple. But now we're jumping in with the live wires, the gateway coming in, and the RPG doing a ton of damage to Jog. He has to be careful here because he is completely split up from his team. And man, Rodder is coming in hot with that damage. So is Ninja Fart. And Jog is trying to stay alive. Player able to get a pick onto Kunder. Ninja Fart getting a pick on a Jog. Pineapple King holding it out for the live wires. He's trying to stay alive. He has that goo. He's able to get Player stuck in there. He has the RPG out. Down goes Player. It is now Ninja versus Pineapple. That right click on the sledge, and down goes the Boundless. Somehow, Pineapple King is able to completely take out the Boundless here. What an insane play, Sam.
Yeah, Pineapple King going absolutely huge there with that goo gun and sledge. Gonna find the right click onto Player, and then the RPG as the follow-up, and then finally finding that last right click onto Ninja. Cody, way to break that down, fella.
You're welcome. But now we have to jump into the Kingfish because there is something going on over here. They have plugged the box, and the Big Splash and the Kingfish are duking it out. Able to get a res though, which is certainly interesting because the Kingfish are now down one and they need to wait for that coin. But Azui able to use the H+ to get Royal up. But man, the gas is coming in hot, and that CL40 is not going to be good in this close room. And now they have completely, essentially wiped themselves out. The Kingfish are out of this completely, and the Big Splash are now just able to hold this for free because I don't see any team coming. Oh, but maybe I'm wrong. The live wire, Sam?
It looks like the live wires might be making this approach here, and Demon real quick just went in there and just exploded the enemy team. That was genuinely saying, goes in and finds two very fast kills with that M11. We've seen them be lightning quick all evening, and they're going to find another one on the Jog as they keep the streak going. Pineapple King and Kunder, the last ones remaining on the side of the live wires, need to hold it down here as time is dwindling away on this cash out in favor of the Big Splash. Already halfway done here, about a minute, I think, left on this cash out, and we see Pineapple just kind of doing themselves into the room. I think they're going to look for a drop here with that sledge. This is a great play if you are Pineapple King, who's going to drop that smoke and look for the steal attempt. Now, can the Big Splash... On top of that, Cody, the Big Splash are actually getting pressured by Router in the Boundless as he's going to find two there with the KS-23. The destruction of that KS-23 can actually put in some work here onto the Goo Gun of Pineapple King, who's just continuing to build an absolute nest inside of here as they continue to hold this cash out. 3/4 gone on this cash out now. Not much time remaining. If you're the Boundless, you got to make a fast push here. But Router actually controls the cash out on the other side of the map as well. This would be a massive consolation prize for themselves if they're able to secure this, as it's going to cement their lead very heavily coming into our last round of cash outs.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, what a masterclass of goo gun usage from Pineapple. And it looks like they want to get sturdy to try to get that last pick on the demon, but they need to be careful because he is a demon and he's already gotten his pick. And it's just Pineapple holding it out for this team. He needs to be careful. The goo coming in, trying to stun demon, but that M11 is dangerous and he takes him out with that melee. But it's still not enough because they were able to get the cash box there. But they're not too far behind, Sam. Can you break that down?
Yeah, this is everybody's game currently, and the Kingfish, if they manage to secure Cash Out D somehow, which it does look like they're actually fighting. I can see it a little bit on the X-ray there. Platypus actually finding an early pick on Router. This is big for the entire lobby if the Kingfish can secure this. This player is the last one remaining on the side of the Boundless. The Kingfish looking to go ahead and push in here. If they can make this flip happen, everything comes close together. It becomes anybody's game here. Flip attempt now coming in out of the side of the Kingfish. They're going to go in and abandon that and find the pick on the player. That's just a Platypus with that LH1. Been absolutely lethal all evening with that thing. We did see the coin, I believe, out of Routers. Now they're going to look to push in and try to contest this, but they're not going to have any time here as the RPG goes out. It's going to be a swing and a miss, unfortunately. The KS-23, unfortunately, not going to connect as well. And Cody, just like that, the numbers are all very close together here. We have a slight lead, only of $1,000 on the side of the live wires. We've got the Boundless basically trailing by another 1,000, and the Plug has just come in for the big splash to put themselves ahead. Cody, this is quite literally anybody's game.
And you are absolutely right, but the Boundless need to be careful because if they get wiped here, they are going to have to be out of the fight for so long that there might not be any time to make a play. So the Kingfish and the Boundless are fighting it out here for a chance to win the game, and they need to be careful. The Red Barrel coming in from player, getting some great damage, but he needs to be careful to not die here. He tries to hold out, but Lazuli able to get a pick onto player. Ninja Fart and Router running away from the fight entirely, which might have been the play here because they are now moving over to Vault 6, and they need to try to get a plug here. The problem is that we are so close that you kind of are in a weird situation. You got to get kills to get first place. And that's kind of a scary thing to bank on, Sam.
Yeah, if you are the Boundless here, I think you're just tapping this vault for the money and then immediately sprinting over to the live wires. Because I think, if I remember correctly, vaults take something like, what, 30 to 45 seconds to open? That's not much time to move this vault over to A, which is going to be the play. And we're already seeing player trying to set up that gateway. The vault's getting ready to pop right now. Gateway, I think, unfortunately broke as well. So now they're going to have to hoof it over. It does look like, though, they actually do have a decent amount of time. Only 20 seconds remaining to get that plug into Cash Out A. And if they're able to do so, Cody, this is a big situation. It's now, look at that, 4K extra to their name with that plug money. Because if you're not familiar with these 18K boxes, you get an immediate 4,000 just by depositing that. They're going to go ahead and take the lead here, and the live wires are now in a tricky situation where if they get this money, it's not enough to win. They've got to go disrupt what's happening with the Boundless on the other side of the arena. Now, what they can do is give that box over to the Kingfish to secure their win. But the big splash, though, if they manage to secure it, do actually take home the map as well. It's literally going to come down to this box as people are still continuing to fight on this side of the arena, which is kind of done. At this point, everybody should be rotating over to the Boundless to get involved over there, because if they don't, the Boundless are going to run away with this game, Cody.
This is interesting, Sam, because now the live wires are only 1,000 away from taking this away from the Boundless. And I think if I looked correctly, let's take a look. Pineapple King is headed over to this box. He's very close by. The Kingfish are here as well. Everybody is silent and waiting. 10 seconds drop here. They need to try to get some sort of picks. I don't know if the steal is worth it here, but he's gonna go for it. And the damage coming in. Router, not just one pick, but two picks with the charge and slam. This is insane. And at the last second, the Boundless are able to get the kills that they need to secure it, Sam.
We got to take a look back at this real quick, because Pineapple King, yeah, was making the approach, and I agree with you. The steal attempt was not the right play here. They just needed 2 kills and to ensure the Boundless don't take any, and unfortunately, it's going to be the charge and slam out of Router, finding 2 there, and the MGL out of Ninja going to find the 3rd. That immediately put them ahead and secured them the win.
Insane game. I mean, everybody was so close in money there until the last second. And like you said, that gateway messing up really screwed over that team that was trying to move it over just in the right time. But man, what a game nonetheless. Let's take a look at the leaderboard real quick, Sam. I see some pretty high numbers there.
Well, let's look at the big splash real quick. Demon, 12 and 2 with 1,600 damage, 6,800 damage, sorry. And unfortunately, Tom Toast kind of struggling in that lobby. 0 and 6, 751 damage. Insane that they're putting in that much work. I mean, that game, that is as close as a cash out can get. I mean, down to 2 kills right at the end. That's all that it needed to happen if you were the live wires to bring that one home. And Router going absolutely massive. We've seen him do it every week so far, just going absolutely huge. And it paid off this time. Boundless taking home the win.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. And we have one last lobby spinning up as we're talking. I'm going to get us in there so we can see it. But Sam, for the last game of the night, what are you hoping for?
Man, these games have been back-to-back, just insanity. That Bernal game was as close as it gets. I mean, I've got multiple stream highlights, and again, if you're new here, we do have a YouTube channel, and we're gonna be uploading our favorite match of the week. It's gonna be a tough one to decide on this week, as we've got, I think, probably 3 in contention already, and I'm curious to see how this 4th one goes. So I think that's all I can ask for, is hopefully this one's as close as it gets.
Sam, do you want to break down the exact process on how to get into this queue if you ever need to? Some of the people that are going around.
Yeah, let's take a look real quick. So you're gonna join the TFC Discord. 1 second. You're gonna join the TFC Discord and head down to the bottom here of our Discord. You got final round pugs and cash out pugs. Cash out is what everybody is kind of running this evening. And you go ahead and click this join queue button. Now, if you don't see this, one thing you can do is click here and actually hit show all channels, and they should all load there. So you make sure you go down there, click join queue, and get involved in the queue. Once a match pops and you have enough people involved, once this fills up, you'll be DM'd, and then you can get into your queue, which is basically this. That works as your check-in process, which then kicks off basically this workflow where you choose how the teams are selected, and then you've got basically the team assigns, vote if they're actually valid. There's a lot of gifts going on. I'm just gonna scroll past those, and then finally you vote on your map, and then you are in the game. So if you didn't get into this one, that's okay. These pugs are available actually all the time. You don't need to run them only on Tuesdays, but people do like to run them on Tuesdays because that's when we broadcast them. Again, we do these every single week here on Tuesdays from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you missed this week and didn't get a game broadcasted, please come back next week. We're going to be running it right back. And on top of that, if you just want more pugs action, head to the Codebreakers Discord, discord.gg/Codebreakers, as they're going to be kicking things off at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. Also on Sundays is Ape Squad's pugs as well. I'm not sure what time those actually begin, but you'll want to hop over there and get involved as well. And then I think they run customs on Monday, which is merches. I also don't know start time for those, unfortunately.
Yep, you are absolutely right. And I think we're loading in. We're getting our team set, and we are going to Soul under construction again.
Wow, what a surprise. What a surprise. Yeah, I mean, what a way to end it. And this is going to be LG, everyone. So thank you again to everybody that played. We're going to be rating this out right after this stream. So please, 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 once this game ends, stick around for just a moment while we rate it out. Go show some TFC love. And we'll catch you guys next week for even more finals action. Also, while we're waiting for this game to kick off our final one of the evening, Cody and I also stream. We're actually doing a shared chat here on Twitch. So if you haven't yet, go up to each channel, the Finals Central, my channel, which is TFC Sam, and TFC Cody, and drop us follows. We play a lot of things. We play a lot of the finals, but we're also playing a lot of Deadlock. And we have Friend Slot Fridays on Friday, for example, that we're doing. So a lot going on here on the Twitch, I guess you could say, the purple app. So make sure you're followed to stay up to date on everything that is going on. Along with that, just a couple esports updates real quick for you. Ape Squad Classics, their pro league that they're spinning up in April, is now open for registration. You can go ahead and get involved at apesquad.org to get your team registered. Along with that, the Heist Games is going to be resuming, I believe, in April. I don't think there's any re-enrollment. It's going to be the same squad, but that is hosted by Lone Ranger and the fellas over at Codebreakers. So Cody and I will be on the casting desk for that. Make sure you tune in when those go live. We will have all of that for you in our Discord. Make sure you're tapped into the esports and competitive channel in there, as that's where we're posting a lot of tournament updates. And Cody, last game of the evening, we've got Wave, Faustus, Jog, and Tactical Turtle running it up together. What are you hoping for?
I don't know what I'm hoping for. I'm just hoping for an insane game, which I think we're going to get, to be entirely honest with you. I'm excited to see it. We see some good splits on teams here, kind of split up. I'm curious to see how some of these trios are going to work out their matches here. But I'd rather the game just speak for itself, and we're going to load in directly with the Boundless here on a sunny Soul under construction.
sunny. I think it's like pouring rain, isn't it? But yeah, Cortisol.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start things off with the bow, which is something you mentioned that you haven't seen, I think, this evening. We're actually gonna see Cortisol running it, which is definitely something I feel like I haven't seen out of him since he started playing in Pugs again. So I'm curious to see what he can make happen here. But the Big Splash are going to go ahead and control vault number 2. Meanwhile, on the other side of the arena, it's going to be the Boundless of the Kingfish squaring off for vault 1 as Way Faustus finds a pick on top toast. But we're going to bring in our focus over here as this fight has finally started to break out. Gateway going to go ahead and pop on the side of the Livewires as they look to take an early control of this vault. Cortisol now going to go ahead and get involved there. But Aquavex with the SR-84 from afar going to find the pick onto Cortisol. Velo going to even it out there with a pick on Utopian with that sledgehammer. Aguilar finding another pick onto Aquavex. It's now a 2v1 situation as Pineapple King is the last one remaining on the side of the Livewires. Big Splash with Velo and Aguilar still alive there as the res does come in onto Cortisol as well. And finally, Cortisol, right after being res, going to find that pick onto Pineapple.
Man, what an unfortunate end to the Livewires. They just... don't like that spot, Cody. We're going to move it down to the bottom floor. The winch comes in, and now I think it's in a little bit better of a spot, I will say. Overall, though, jumping in with the Livewires, it looks like they are in hot pursuit over to A, which is in control of the Boundless. They have that gateway set, the charge and slam to ignore it. They want that extra high bounce. The RPG coming out. Do they notice the guy on the crane, though, is the question. The RPG coming in from Pineapple, trying to get some sort of damage, throwing it out of the dome. Just get away from the damage that is coming out from the Boundless, and it is a lot. The goo coming in as well, really just trying to shut them down. Pineapple not running the goo gun, though. Running the charge and slam, which is definitely an interesting choice. Throwing down the blueberry to try to get a little bit more healing and getting some great damage onto Tactical Turtle. Jog falling off the map, not too sure what happened, but it is Way Faustus and Tactical Turtle. They are down Jog, and now the Livewires are trying to get some good damage. Pineapple King really suffering some damage from Tactical Turtle. He's just doing a great job at kind of being slippery, slimy, getting around, throwing down the gateway, and Way Faustus also falling off the map. What is going on with the Boundless today? Are they just magnetized to fall into the void? Jog now coining away from the rest of the team where the steal goes in, and he's not even going to be able to interrupt this. And he's going into a losing fight, Sam.
Yeah, the coin pretty questionable out of Jog. He was probably spamming that space bar, but actually we are seeing the death timers are ending. Tactical Torolo gonna pop his coin as well. Again, I think you just gotta wait for the team to wipe out here as Jog is back on another 23-second cooldown. No defibs available on the side of the Boundless, and Tactical Turtle is gonna go down to Aquavex, who is putting in absolute work with the SR-84. Utopian sitting right there on the ledge as well, does find the backstab onto Way Faustus, and that is going to go huge for the side of the Livewires, Cody. Yeah,
they're feeding.
They were feeding a little bit. Yeah,
admin, they're padding stats. What are we doing?
True, that you're not wrong. Livewire is going to take our first cash out. Follow up immediately with the Big Splash. Big Splash taking a look at our scoreboard here. $15,500 to their name. $12,000 on the side of the Livewires. It's definitely anybody's game still, but the Kingfish definitely have some making up to do as they only have $2,000 to their name, Cody.
Definitely an interesting position. The Big Splash do have a little bit of a lead here, and they need to be careful to keep that. They do want to try to get a vault here, and they want to plug it, but looks like the Boundless are moving in to try to get a plug as well. But the Big Splash are wanting to get involved as quick as possible. Aquavex trying to run away from any and all sledgehammers. You definitely don't want that with a sniper. He throws down the Vanish, really starting to get involved here, and it looks like we do have a game show on. Sam, do you know which one that is? I'm not too familiar with that symbol. I don't know why. Is it Dead Go Boom?
That is Dead Go Boom, which I think, for honestly, under construction is going to cause a lot of havoc if the kills start to ring out here. Aquavex finding a nice shot on the Cortisol. That's going to get cleaned up by Utopian. Unfortunately, though, that's going to be Top Toast with the sword closing in the gap on the Aquavex, who barely makes it out with his life. He's going to drop the cloak nade. It's not going to be enough as Aguilar is going to hear that and close in, cleaning him up. Aguilar, the last one remaining on the side of the Big Splash. Meanwhile, Livewires have 2 alive. That's Utopian and Pineapple King, but Utopian's taking quite a bit of damage. They do find a kill onto the Big Splash. It was not a wipe, but the way Utopian was emoting, I thought it might have been. Aguilar looking to clutch this thing up as Pineapple King down to a bar and a half. Aguilar in hot pursuit here with that M11 is going to find the pick. Aquavex, the last one remaining on the side of the Livewires, as Aguilar raising damage, but Aquavex going absolutely huge, but it's going to be Cortisol who manages to clean up that kill on him, and the flip coming in out of the Big Splash, Cody.
Man, what an unfortunate position for the live wires. The Big Splash able to get the steal here, and now they need to spend some time getting their numbers back up. But the Big Splash do not want to let that happen. Utopian trying to go invis, try to get some sort of dagger play here. And now Aguilar is starting to run away. He's holding the barrel. He wants him to catch on fire. He said, take that, man. And down goes Aguilar. It doesn't even give him the kill. Utopian doesn't want that. He wants the style points. That's what he loves, and that's what he got from Aguilar. And now they're coming back in. They want to stop the steal. Tom Toast trying to get it out. Utopian coming in, hashing and slashing every which way, but Cringy able to get a pick with that bow. And now Aquavex is coming in as well. That sniper, that pyro grenade, he's holding it. He wants to start some fire, and yes, he does on top of the cash box. But I don't know if that's the right play here, because he needs to make a steal soon, and he's trying to get a res, but Aguilar comes back and takes down the live wires, and the Big Splash now are able to keep control of this cash box in.
Yeah, but the Boundless are continuing to get involved here. I saw somebody hop over as Tactical Turtle is going to find a pick on the Cortisol. Aguilar now going to look to fight that out over to Tactical Turtle. Tactical Turtle finding a little bit of a headshot there, but Aguilar's M11 going to put in a bit of damage there as Tactical Turtle falls off the map. What is the Boundless? Listen, I get that it's called the Boundless, but there are map bounds, fellas, and you have fallen into them a couple times now. Gotta keep our feet planted, fellas.
What are we doing over here on the side of the Kingfish? We're just inspecting our skins. I mean, I know we pay good money for them, but is that more important than... Okay.
I'm not really sure.
Okay, guys, for sure. No, for sure. Well, they are starting to make some sort of, life choice here. I'm glad they're starting to make a play. It looks like they're throwing down the gateway. So good you had to do it twice. Cringy and Tomtos both throwing one down. It would have been better to maybe play this together, but that's okay. Looks like they threw it down. They're going to get a free plug here. But the question is, Sam, doing the math, I don't know if this is going to be too great of a position, but hold on. The Big Splash are here? What? Cortisol getting a great pick onto Tom Toast, which is weird because he's not nearby the rest of his team. What was going on here? Velo is caught between the other team as well, and Cortisol and Aguilar able to get a pick and get the Kingfish out of this fight entirely. But what was Velo doing? What are we seeing here? I'm so confused.
Big Splash going huge. They need a box. Just any box will do. And they decided to take the one from the Kingfish. I mean, that probably is the right choice if we're looking at the scoreboard here as Aguilar continues to absolutely fry this lobby, finding a pick on Yuto there. Gonna look for the last one on to Aqua. Not yet gonna find it, but as Aqua continues to kite away with this SR-84, I don't think he's made a swap on his weapon yet. Aguilar and Cortisol in hot pursuit there, but it's gonna be Velo who finally finds the kill onto Aquavex with that melee. Big Splash in a great position here, so they're going to continue to hold down this cash out, but the Kingfish are now going to look to get involved as they have made the cross over to Hospital. They've done so freely, but Aguilar finding the pick onto Cringy there as Velo finds a pick on the second Samurai. There's only one remaining on the side of the Kingfish now. It's going to be Tom Toast with the sword, going to look to see what they can make happen, but it's going to be hard to pressure that helipad that the Big Splash are currently holding so strong. Gonna back up Kite for his life here. Only 14 seconds left on the countdown timers for Cringy and second Samurai, but it looks like Tom might be fighting some ghosts here, as I think that's Aguilar getting involved with the goo. Aguilar gonna go ahead and rotate back over here now as he fights it out with the Boundless, who have decided to get back involved. Raining in damage again with this M11. He has been frying all evening, but he's gonna run into also the live wires here. It's gonna be Utopian Pineapple King taking some damage. Cortisol finding a pick on a Tactical Turtle. Aguilar is somehow still alive, bagging in the corner and getting H+ by Cortisol. This is crazy plays out of them. I don't even know how he makes it out with his life. The Big Splash putting on an absolute masterclass here on how to stall a box when you have 4 teams involved in the mix. Pineapple King looking like he might try to push for a steal attempt, but instead gonna look to fight instead. Cortisol gonna take that gateway to reset up to the helipad. Only 3 seconds remaining for a steal opportunity to start, and it looks like it's not gonna come through as the Balance look for a steal tip. They may have gotten on early enough. It's not gonna be enough though, as the sledgehammer and bow out of Velo and Cortisol bring it home, Cody.
Man, what a final match to end it out. I don't even know what to say, because I feel like my brain didn't even catch on to what was going on half of that match. It was so many just back and forth. I mean, the Void, I think, had a crazy positive KD, if we can check that on the leaderboard. I don't know if it's tracked, but I mean, at least got 4, and that's a little too high. I'm just saying, four kills from the Void, just a little too high, guys. I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, I would love for a stat to tell me how many times people fell off the map, because it definitely claimed a lot of lives there. The construction zone, remember, fellas, is under construction. You gotta watch where you're stepping. Did claim a lot, especially on the side of the Boundless, which punished them overall. Big Splash, I mean, just an absolute masterclass there on Hospital to hold it down and bring home the victory. Crazy gameplay overall, and again, that marks the end of another successful Tuesday night Pugs. Cody, again, massive shout out to everybody who has played this evening. Thank you again to Lamp for the raid earlier tonight, and for all the new faces that have dropped follows and have joined the Discord this evening. We run these every single Tuesday from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on TFC. So make sure you come back next week and get in on the action. If you're into production or casting, or think you might want to try your hand at doing what we're doing, being on the desk and having some fun with the fellas, drop us a support ticket. This is just like a pug for you as well. Even if you've never casted before, we'll pair you with somebody who has, so that you can have that experience. It's a ton of fun, and it's low stakes. There's nothing, no big deal. We flub up stuff all the time. So again, thank you all for playing. Please join the Codebreakers Discord, discord.gg/Codebreakers, as they're running their pugs on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And a reminder, if you want more pugs action after that, Ape Squad is on Sunday. I don't know the time, I'm sorry, but apesquad.org, I think it's on there, their Discord as well. And then Monday, merch customs happening over on Ape Squad. Stay tuned for TFC. We're going to have a lot more coming in terms of esports coverage soon, as it sounds like the scene is finally starting to ramp back up. If you missed some of tonight's matches, or you want to see if your match made the featured slot, make sure you go to youtube.com/@thefinalscentralftw. We're going to be posting the highlighted match of this week, and we're also going to post one from last week. We're going to give you a double header this week, and we'll continue to do that from here on, so that you can relive the moments. The VODs will also be live as well. I'm being told to check the leaderboard real quick. Let's go ahead and do that real fast. Thank you, Velo, in the chat for reminding me before we head on out of here. Let's go ahead and... Oh, wrong one. That one. There we go. That one. All right. Taking a look at our leaderboard. I don't even think we played a final round tonight, but let's go ahead and refresh anyways. Jog still reigning supreme over there with 6 wins. Dakad with 4. Kai with 3. Tied up with Farside as well. Over on Cash Out, though, I think we've had a lot of changes here, as Velo has now taken the lead on the Cash Out Pugs leaderboard for the split. As a reminder, this runs for 2 months. At the end of April, whoever's in first place for wins will be crowned our Split 2 champion. So congrats to Velo, currently in first place with 7 wins, with a nice 3-game window over Ninja Fart and Wayfouster and Cringy and Cortisol and Jog and Schizo and Utopian, all of which are tied for second place. It is an absolute battle for this leaderboard, and you've got plenty of time to continue to be in the mix. So, Cody, I've yapped a lot. Anything else that I missed, or anything you want to add real quick before we raid this thing out?
No, all I can say is that I hope everyone continues to have a good time playing TFC Tuesday Pugs, and I hope you guys check out the other organizations and people doing Pugs, because it is so much fun. I mean, I think you guys saw it in these matches. It is just constant chaos for 2 hours, and it is going on Thursdays at Codebreakers, Sundays at Ape Squad, and then Mondays as well at Merch Mondays, which is also being hosted at Ape Squad. So you guys should check all of those wonderful people out and get as much Pugs as possible, and also stay tuned, because we will have some possible events happening real soon. But outside of that, join the Discord, and we'll see you guys around the arena.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to kick it over to Az now, so please give a warm TFC welcome over there. We'll catch you next week. See ya.